All right. Okay, so thank you for making it ECC, and to those that are online as well. Now, at Excelsior Community College, you're going to recognize something um, from the first day that you enter the campus, in this lecture theater. You begin to notice that we are here to assist you and to help you not only to develop academically, but socially, relationally, and of course this morning, as you recognize, spiritually as well. It's one thing to have respect and reverence for each other. We believe it's another thing to be able to have reverence for God. Would you agree with that? Yes? And I've never met someone who revere God and their lives have never been better for doing so. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to share with you a scripture this morning and hopefully share with you some nuggets, some truth that I believe will help you on your journey here at ECC. Now, oftentimes when we read the Bible, it's read as a religious book. But I've come to discover it's also a book of principles. Would you agree with that? You can find principles that can assist you in your day-to-day endeavor. Let's look at the story coming to us from Luke 2:43 to 47. And it's the life of Jesus. So interesting. And you as students, I believe, can pull something from his life. It says here, and when they had fulfilled the days, a very popular story, and they returned, the child Jesus tarried behind in Jerusalem. He stayed behind in Jerusalem. And Joseph and his mother knew not of it. But they supposed him to have been in the company, went a day's journey, and they sought him among their kinsfolk and acquaintances. And when they found him not, they turned back again to Jerusalem, seeking him, trying to find him. And it came to pass that after 3 days, they found him in the temple, listen to this, sitting in the midst of doctors, both hearing them and asking them questions. Wow. Now, isn't that interesting? Because without questions, we cannot get understanding. If you look at a toddler, one of the first things that toddler does is to what? Ask what? Questions. They want to ask questions. Why? Because they're discovering their world and they want understanding. Now, at 12 years of age, Jesus was asking questions. Why? To get understanding. Who was he asking questions of? The doctors, the brilliant minds of his time, and also to see, where their understanding, of what's happening in their environs at that time. So it was an interesting principle. So even here at ECC, we expect you to ask your lecturers what? Ask what? Questions. That's how we get understanding. That's how we learn. We ask questions. Now, what is so interesting is that at 12 years old, what were you doing? What were we doing at 12 years old? Huh? Most of us probably we were, having fun, enjoying ourselves. But why is it that Jesus was not doing the same thing as children his age? Have you ever thought of that? Why is it that he was not having fun just outside, just enjoying himself like everyone else. I am asking a question. Why is it? What made him so different? And I've come to discover that Jesus, even at the age of 12, he had a goal. He had a goal. He had a mission. He had a vision for his life. He said it this way, I must be about my Father's business. Ladies and gentlemen, I've come to discover that it's impossible to be disciplined without setting goals. Would you agree with that? It is impossible to be disciplined without goal setting. So then, by the time Jesus was 33 years old, he was already a household name. The goal made him laser focused. Can I hear you say laser focus? It's one thing for a light to be scattered. It's another thing for it to be focused. So he was laser focused. So by the time he was 33 years old, he was already, in Jamaica we'd say famous. He was already a household name. We want to encourage you here at ECC to set goals. Goals will make you disciplined. While your other peers are maybe having a good time and enjoying themselves, you will always remember why you came to ECC. What is your goal? What's the vision for your life? What dream do you have for your life? We want to look at that. Do you want to, I wrote down a few things this morning that I think could help you. Let me share them with you. Do you want to be the first in your family to graduate from a college or a university? Do you want to be the first? You have to set what? You have to set goals. Do you want to be the first in your family to build a small business using your tech skills? Do you want to be the first? It will only happen by you setting what? Do you want to be the first in your family to develop AI or a machine learning project? It will only happen through setting what? Do you want to be the first in your family to secure an international online job? It will only happen by setting goal. And finally, do you want to be the first in your family to break the cycle of poverty? It will only happen by setting what? Ladies and gentlemen, please do not take this master principle that Jesus left for us, because the Bible is a book of principle. If you set a goal for your life, you will achieve it. When I was in school, they said to us, aim for the stars, and if you miss the stars, you'll hit what? You'll hit the moon. But guess what? You're still up there. Am I making sense? You are still up there because you aim high. You aim for the A+. So if you fall short, you'll reach what? The A, but you're still where? You're still up there. Is it making sense? Ladies and gentlemen, you can differentiate yourself from all of your colleagues, all of your peers, if you make a decision today to set at least 3 goals for yourself at ECC. I am going to be the best in my profession. I'm going to be the best at what I'm doing. Set some goals. Learn, and guess what? People will begin to know your what? You know your name. Is it making sense? When I look at you, I'm looking at the future of Jamaica. I'm looking at the young people who are going to bring solution to our country's problems. And each of you have been uniquely gifted to solve at least one problem in this country. But it will only happen if you get laser focused. And being laser focused will only happen if you set goals. Do you agree with that? Yes and yes? Yes. So we're going to be praying at this time and just ask that this word today will not just us fall to the ground. But you'll think about it, meditate on it, and said, in my family, I am going to be the first at something. Let's pray. Heavenly Father, we give you thanks for our students that have made the choice to be here at ECC. But we know that they can do nothing, God, without you. Without you, God, we are pretty much failing without your assistance. Yes, we can succeed, but not to our fullest capacity without your help. So we are presenting our students here, and I'm asking you that you make the concepts here at ECC easy for them. Help them to understand, to grasp the principles. And I pray that all of the students here that have listened to the teaching this morning, that they will become goal setters, that years from now when we meet them, they will have said, yes, sir, I set the goals and we achieved them. Bless them today, Father, we pray, to bring solutions to our problem, to this nation's problem, we ask. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Have a good day, blessed week, and we look forward to empowering you more at ECC. Over to you, Mrs. Campbell.
Amen. Thank you, Mr. Cole. If she's ready, I now invite our Vice Principal of Academic Affairs to bring greetings, Dr. Zaria Malcolm Walker. Please make her welcome.
Thank you, Dean Campbell. Good morning. All right, so it's my pleasure to be with you all this morning. I know that some of you would have heard me on Monday at the ExCED Academy orientation, but I'm seeing some new faces, and so it therefore means that some of you are seeing me for the first time. I want to just say a big welcome to Excelsior Community College, and welcome to your Faculty of Computer Studies and Engineering. Now, you've made a wonderful decision to enroll with us, and I hope your decisions moving forward will also be wonderful, because we want to see you all the way through to completion of your programs. Now, you're in a faculty that is very known for high quality in terms of the program delivery, in terms of the expertise of the faculty members who will be facilitating in your classes, and in terms of the performance of the students having graduated from this faculty, right? So I'm sure you're going to be no different, and that you're going to be making positive marks in the institution and externally. I want to just underscore that everything that you're going to do in your program of study is important. Whether it is academic, meaning what you're doing in classes as part of your curriculum, or whether it's extracurricular, meaning your involvement in sports and other clubs and societies we have here on campus. What distinguishes a graduate of a program these days is not just their GPA, in terms of how well they did on their courses, but it is how they distinguish themselves as members of their college and outside community. So what we like for you here at ECC, which is why work experience is so critical in our programs, and social outreach, meaning involvement in your community, volunteerism, we're looking at developing your holistic development. That goes to beyond what you're learning in the class, but ensuring that you have an appreciation of what it means to give back to the society, to help those who are less in need, or who have less and are in need, and those who just need some additional assistance. So everything that you're going to do here at ECC is important. For those of you who may be looking forward to getting some of our departmental scholarships after you're in year 2, that can help in terms of your paying for your college tuition moving forward. We're not just looking at the books in terms of your GPA, we're looking at your involvement otherwise. So keep that in mind from day one. Additionally, please listen very carefully to the opportunities that exist for you, not just here in Jamaica, but internationally. Some of you will want to participate in work and travel. Some of you will want to get the ELAP scholarship, which means that you pay for your tuition here and you go through a selection process and you can be selected to have a semester abroad in Canada, where they pay everything for you, airfare, everything, and give you spending money. In order to be eligible for those things, your GPA has to be impressive, and your involvement on campus also has to be impressive because you're competing with other students. Those opportunities are open to you. Whether you're doing any of our computing programs or you're doing automobile, architecture, construction, renewable energy, engineering, you are in high demand areas. You're in areas now that can make an impact nationally and internationally. And so please pay keen attention to everything that your lecturers and guest lecturers, because one of the things that we're proud of is that our alumni who are well known now in established positions in their field, they come back and they give back and they help to mentor those of you in the program. Please pay keen attention to everybody that's going to speak to you today. I hope that you don't just come and stare in their faces, but you have a piece of pen and paper, or you have your phone open to Notepad to take notes, because the information you're going to get is very important. It's wonderful to have you here. I'm really happy to see the batch of students that we have this year. You really look keen. You look like students who are going to work with us in terms of what we want from you. And if it's one thing I want to encourage you to, as I wrap up this greetings, it's to think carefully about your peer groups. Think carefully about the people who you're associating with. Make wise decisions. You're in a college environment. You're going to encounter people from different walks of life, people with different values, but stay true to the values that you know are right, and think carefully about the people who you're choosing to associate with, because that can also have an impact on your path moving forward, right? But we do encourage you to just be respectful and in everything to do your best here at ECC. I really look forward to engaging with you as we move forward in your academic journey. All the best. I am in a meeting on my phone, not paying attention to it right now as I speak to you, but I have to get back to it, and I also have to go to the other orientation, but I will pop in throughout the day as well. So have a wonderful day, everyone.
Thank you, Dr. Malcolm Walker. Okay, guys, so let us look at the two schools that comprise your faculty. So you should know the name of the faculty that you belong to, and you should also know the name of the school that you belong to, okay? So the Faculty of Computer Science and Engineering is divided into two schools, as you can see there, the School of Computer Studies. We call ourselves SOCS. So you'll hear us use the abbreviation most of the time. And we have the School of Engineering, Logistics, and the Built Environment, CELBE, all right? And I already introduced myself earlier. I'm the Dean of the Faculty. And I'm now going to ask the two heads of schools to introduce their staff. So I'm going to call on Mr. Christopher Rose first. He's the head of school for the School of Computer Studies. And then I'll ask Mr. Seneth Parrott to introduce the persons from the School of Engineering, Logistics, and the Built Environment.
Good morning. You guys sound so dead. Good morning, everyone. All right, good. We need to start off on a positive note. As Dean Campbell said a while ago, my name is Christopher Rose. I am the head of school for School of Computer Studies, and I'm happy to be here, and I'm glad to see the faces that I'm looking on right now because I know you're up to a good start, and you're here for a positive reason. All right, I am looking in the audience. I'm trying to pick out my team members. Mr. Cole, can you stand up for me? So I'll introduce you. Mr. Cole, this is Mr. Damian Cole from our team, one of our team members, and he lectures networking and IT-related course from our program. Mr. Sinclair, thanks, Mr. Cole. That's Mr. Chetty Sinclair, and he teaches web programming, IT-related courses as well. Mr. Paul Taylor, you'll see him a lot, mobile app, web development, a former student and now a lecturer. Mr. Parchment is managing all the IT equipment around the back. He's the deputy head of school, teach programming. Mr. Parchment, you'll see him come back and forth. Looking to see if anybody else. Where? Mr. Logan, come down to the front for me, please. You look like a student in the back. I didn't recognize you were there. All right. Mr. Logan, welcome to our team. Stand for me so they can see who you are. And Mr. Logan will be teaching IT-related courses and programming as well. And beside Mr. Logan, Mr. Akil. Mr. Akil, stand up. Yes, sir. Mr. Akil teaches computer security and other software engineering and other courses related into computing. Other persons will come along, and I will introduce them as they come along. There are other members, but I want you to see their faces when I introduce them, so as they come in, I'll introduce them, and you can actually get to know them, because you have to know your instructors, because they are going to be the primary persons that you interact with. And not only that, once you know your instructors by name, you know how to get to them, because their name, their first name, full stop, their last name at ecc.edu is their email address. So once you know their full names, you're able to contact them and associate with them easy. Sustain it.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Kenneth Peart. I'm from the School of Engineering, Logistics, and the Built Environment. I will now introduce to you my team members. My assistant head of school is Miss Francis. Please stand. Thank you. There's Miss Watson, Miss Kimoy Watson. Let me pause a little bit. Miss Francis is a construction lecturer as well, separate and apart from the assistant head. She lectures courses in the associate degree in architecture and construction. No, Miss Watson. All right, now Miss Kimo Watson is a lecturer of physics across both 3 associate degrees. She works in the engineering, with the engineering students, the architecture students, and with some of the auto students too. Then there's Mr. Fennell. Mr. Fennell is our automotive lecturer in our department. I'm not seeing Mr. McDowell. Is he there? All right, fine, we'll get to him after. I'm mentioning the name so you can know that he's from our department. I see Miss Pennycook at the back. Very bright, spark lady, you see her there. She's from the construction associate degree as well. There's Mr. Yuan. He's there. Mr. Yuan is over that side, automotive. There's Mr. Heaven at the back. He's renewable energy and engineering. Our adjunct, Mr. Wright, is not in here. Mr. Hudson is a part-time lecturer. All right, tell you what, Mr. Emmanuel is here. All right, those are some additional persons. We had some adjunct lecturers, but as you go along, you'll get exposed to them. Let me welcome you. Thanks for choosing Excelsior, and you're going to have a wonderful time with us. One of the things Excelsior is renowned for is just that interpersonal relationship with our students, separate and apart from other tertiary institutions. We make a close bond with our students. They can come to us with their problems, and we help them to, solve some of the issues that they're faced with. Because the aim of this institution is to help you to be successful. So take advantage of it. You won't regret it. Thank you so much again. All the best, all right?
All right. Thank you, Mr. Rose and Mr. Peart. And give another applause for your lecturers. They work very hard. Checking, is a representative from the student union here? No? All right, I'll skip over that. All right, so just so you have an idea of Excelsior's vision, mission, and core values, so I'll give you a few moments to read through it. We try as much as possible that all our decisions and what we do, we follow these items here. So we're a world-renowned educational institution who fosters a Christian worldview, forges linkages, and positively impacts our communities. In case you're not aware, Excelsior is a Methodist institution. We're owned by the Methodist Church, and so you'll notice that a lot of the events that we have start with prayer. We have Easter service, we have Christmas service, etc. And we invite you to attend these events when they happen. All right, so I'll give you a few more minutes to look through. It's also available on the website if you want to go back to it. All right, so I have a question for you guys. Why are you here? I don't mean why are you in this room right now, but why are you at Excelsior Community College? I want some persons to share their ideas with me.
All right, for the persons who are standing at the back, come down. There's a lot of space here. Just come and sit down at the front. At least the front seats are more comfortable than the back. So come at the front. There's a lot of space here. We're not going to go until you guys have a seat and be more comfortable. I don't want anybody standing at the back. Come to the front. The question is asked, why are you here? Why did you choose to come to Excelsior? Must be a reason. All right, let me ask another question until Mrs. Campbell come back. How many of you have friends who have not chosen to attend college currently? Who have friends at home, sitting at home, don't know if they want to go to college or want to go to university. They have the CSEC. Show me hands if you know somebody is at home, have the subjects, but don't know what they want to do. Anybody who have friends like that? I see one hand. All right. You are here for a reason. Let me hear the reasons why you're here.
Who raised their hand a while ago? Nobody? All right, where is Jason Walters?
Stand up for me.
Where's Jason? All right, Jason, why are you here? Don't be shy, guys. up, Damani, I'm not seeing you. Yeah. I have the names in them. Damani, speak up. Why are you here? There's no wrong or right answer. Go ahead. Your cousin recommended you. And why did you follow your cousin's recommendation?
He have a master's in architecture, so he must write.
Okay, all right. Marlon Brown. Where's Marlon? Another person who doesn't know their name. Marlon Brown. No answer? Or everybody's so shy, so. All right, so as you should be aware, a good education is one of the main methods out of poverty. Did you know that? Legal methods, right? And there are many graduates from Excelsior who work in management positions, own their own business, and if they could do it, you can do it too. So some of us, you said it was a recommendation, somebody else's recommendation. Maybe you're not fully convinced as yet, but a good education in the right field is good to have as a way out of your circumstance if you are in a bad circumstance, right? So that's why we're here, to get that education so that we can be gainfully employed, either working for someone or owning our own business, right? And in order to have that, we need a tertiary education. And so that's why you should be here. That's why you're here. So I'd like you guys to share with me, what do you think tertiary education means? What makes tertiary different from secondary? Because I am assuming most of you are coming from high school, right? So what do you think is the difference between high school, secondary level, and now that you're in the tertiary level? If I don't get any volunteers, I'm going to call names again. Descartes, Demetrios. Who is that? All of a sudden, so many people don't know their name.
Testing.
So my name is Rafi Khaled, and I think tertiary level is university, because it's a more advanced learning system.
He says you have to pay more.
All right, over here. What do you think the difference between high school and college?
The difference is that you get a higher education than from high school.
All right, that's good. What are you expecting?
I'm expecting bigger results than in high school.
All right, wonderful.
I would say tertiary level is more advanced hands-on experience in the education that we get to, which prepares you for the job field that you're going into in the future.
Excellent.
Any more? All right. Okay, so Let me ask you guys some questions. What do you do when you don't understand something at the tertiary level? What do you think you should do? Everybody mumbling. Somebody talk out loud. What's... Yes? Do your own research, sure. Anything else? Ask questions of either your lecturer or maybe another student, right? Anything else? Right. What do you do if you were absent from class and you missed a topic? No answer. So whereas in the high school, maybe a teacher will come to you and say, oh, Marlon, you missed class yesterday. Here are the notes. This is what we did. This is the assignment. I allow you to give it in late. All that stuff. No, not at tertiary level. When you're absent, you have the difference between tertiary and secondary, you are now responsible for your learning. You're an adult in an adult institution. You're responsible for your learning. So you miss class, it's your responsibility to find out what took place. You can have a consultation session with your lecturer. You can ask your fellow student. You can look on our systems to see if any assignment was given and things like that. So you have some form of responsibility. As I was mentioning earlier, if there's a topic you don't understand, don't just sit there and don't understand. And then a harder topic comes and you go deeper and deeper and deeper into not understanding. Make sure you understand, right? Doing your own research, etc., as was mentioned before. When do you start working on assignments? The night before? I hear people laughing, right? So what some persons do, they might finish the assignment, and the assignment is due Thursday midnight. You're finished. Why not upload it now? Some people wait until 5 minutes to midnight to try and upload. Everybody's now doing it, and so the internet lags, and so midnight comes, they get locked out. And then the next morning, sir, can you reopen Canvas for us? Right? Make sure it's your responsibility. Remember I said you need to take responsibility for your learning. And so giving in assignments is very important. I'm going to share a slide on coursework versus exams soon. And so you will see how that works. Reading outside of class. Some persons outside of the timetabled class, they don't do any work at all. So your lecturer asks you to read something for next class, or a topic was done and you don't even look over the topic before the next class. So make sure you do some things outside of class, right? If there are any parents in the room, if you see your son or daughter looking too relaxed, maybe in probably 2 weeks' time, they're not going to class or doing any work. You always have work to do, right? Tertiary level, somebody mentioned the work is more advanced. You don't have time to relax. So if you don't see them reading, doing assignments or anything, check what's happening. They're either not going to class or not doing their assignments, right? So we ask the parents in the room, guardians, to partner with us and assist us in getting them to settle down and do the work that they need to do. Now, how many of you use AI? Raise your hand if you use AI. I see 1, 2, oh. Some people don't use, you guys not telling the truth, that you don't use AI.
We find out.
Yeah, we find out. Now, just a caution. So we don't have a problem with you using AI, right? AI is used to assist you, but it's not there to do the work for you, right? So it helps you to brainstorm, to organize your thoughts, check your grammar, things like that. But the final piece of work that you submit to your lecturer should reflect your own thinking. So submitting something that is entirely done by AI is considered academic dishonesty, right? So, and whenever you plagiarize and your lecturer discovers it, that's an automatic 0. Please take note of that. So please do not plagiarize. Don't copy somebody else's work. Don't use AI to do the work for you. And what happens with persons who use AI to do the work, they might get a good coursework grade, but then they can't manage in the exam because they don't really know the content. So yes, use AI to assist you, but don't let it override everything that you must also learn the stuff, all right? Always be in the know. So at the tertiary level, it's your responsibility to make sure you know things. Right? At the secondary level, you might have assembly every morning or once a week or whatever, and they tell you everything you're supposed to do and all that stuff, and they come and remind you and all those things. The official way of corresponding with students is via your Excelsior email. So you need to make sure you check your email every day. And by the way, just so you're aware, you can't activate your email until after you've selected your courses. All right, so you'd have gotten your package with explaining how to do various things. If you're having a challenge activating your email, it's that reason. You need to select courses first, all right? So just be aware of that. So always be in the know. Emails are constantly sent to students, so closer to exam time, they send you exam reminders, all right? Now that we're starting the semester, you're going to get emails about that. If an event is coming up, you're going to get emails about that. So check your emails. I know sometimes you get a lot of emails and you might be bombarded, or maybe you might get an email that does not pertain to you, and you say, oh, I'm not going to read my emails. You need to read your emails. You also need to check the systems. Later, you're going to hear the term Canvas. So that's where you submit coursework. That's where your lecturers will send reminders, so you need to check that daily as well. So always be in the know and read your handbook. So you're just starting. Yes, we're going to give you some of the basics here, but if you want to know some of the details, the nitty-gritty, you need to make sure you read your handbook. All right, guys? So be in the know in that regard. All right? So make sure you do well in all your courses. And I reiterate, tertiary level is about taking responsibility for your learning, all right? And make sure you practice. So in your field, some of you doing programming, some of you doing math courses, you need to practice to make sure that you are successful, all right? So I'm now going to give you an idea of what your programs are. Later on when you meet within your schools, you'll go into more detail the specific programs, all right? So these are the programs offered in the School of Computer Studies and in the School of Engineering, Logistics, and the Built Environment. So you should be aware of your program. So earlier, I mentioned to you that you should know the name of your school and the name of your faculty. You also need to know the name of the program that you are doing. All right? Where we have the bachelor's degrees listed, it's a 4-year program. The first after 2 years, you get an associate degree. And then 2 more years, years 3 and 4, you get a bachelor's degree. So the associate first 2 years is the first 2 years of the bachelor's. All right? So as mentioned earlier, you should be enrolled in one of these programs. We also offer short courses based on demand. So every now and again, you will see advertisements about that. During the summer, we offered a short course on cybersecurity. And in the upcoming semester, you will see others. Please take note of the abbreviations being used, because sometimes persons will refer to you. Like I might not say, who is in the Management Information Systems program? I might just say, who is in MIS? So you should be aware of the abbreviations used for your program. So your semester structure, the first 2 years, the associate degree is, as I said earlier, 2 years, and then you have 2 more years. Now each year is divided into either 2 semesters or 3 semesters. Now, I assume everybody in here is a day student, and so you'll be doing 2 semesters. Semester 1 is from September to December. So from September to November, you will have classes, and then in December, you'll have your exam for semester 1. After semester 1, then you'll have semester 2 in January. You'll be doing a different set of courses. So each semester, you'll do approximately 6 courses. All right, so your timetable will change in January. And so from January to April, you'll be in the 2nd semester. Then you would do your exams in May. And then you'd be free from May to September. And then you'd come back for the 2nd year in September. Except in cases if you have to do Foundation Math 3, which is offered in the summer. All right? The evening students, they do 3 semesters. So while you are free in the summer, the evening students will do classes from June to August. All right? If, for example, you fail a course during the 1st and 2nd semester, and the course is being offered in the summer, you can do the course in the summer. But remember, it's in the evening, and evening classes are online. All right? Please take a note there, the 2nd line, the college reserves the right to withdraw programs that are not viable. And so if you're the only one who applied for a program, for example, then we would not offer that program. All right? So just be aware of that. All right, so let's look at matriculation. So the general matriculation for most of the programs are 5 CSEC subjects, including math and English. All right? Now, if you have City and Guilds Stage 3 math, they will accept that, but you also have to do 2 additional foundation math courses. You'd have to do foundation math 2 and 3. And that will be mentioned in your acceptance letter. That's another thing. Some of us don't read our acceptance letter, or you give your parent the acceptance letter and you don't know the content. Remember what I said earlier, you are now responsible for your learning, right? And so you need to be aware, oh, I need to do foundation math, whatever. And so you need to ensure that you complete those. Those of you who already have CSEC math, or you plan to do CSEC math, whenever you see the foundation math courses on your timetable, you can ignore them, all right? But you know if you're supposed to do the foundation math courses or not. We also have mature entry, so if you are 25 years or older and you have at least 5 years experience in the field that you are pursuing, then you can be accepted, but you have to submit a portfolio and then it will be assessed. So that was the general matriculation, 5 CSEC with math and English, but there are specific programs that require additional things. For example, the IT, ComSci, computer engineering, technology. We included in those 5 subjects, you also need a technical subject. If you're doing auto, you also need technical drawing, a technical subject, and a science subject for architecture and construction, and physics or mechanical engineering science, technical or science subject for engineering. If you have specific questions, you can speak to your head of school, Mr. Peart, afterwards for further details. Just a point to note, in some cases, a CSEC can be substituted by something else. So for example, if you have a diploma from an institution like Vector, you can use that to substitute for a CSEC, right? So Student Affairs Enrollment Unit, they will assess that for you and let you know. All right, so just a word on the foundation courses. For those of you who need to do foundation courses, so foundation courses are courses for persons who do not have the CSEC math or English, and do not plan to do that CSEC subject. But of course, persons, you must still have 5 CSEC subjects. So whether you're doing the foundation courses or not, please be aware you must have your 5 CSEC. So persons who already have the CSEC Math and English, you are not to do the foundation courses when you see them on the timetable. All right, so you can ignore them. So if you have your 5 CSEC and you don't plan to do CSEC Math, you need to do foundation concepts in Math 1, 2, and 3. These courses are usually offered on a Saturday. So in the first semester, that's now, you do foundation concepts in Math 1. Then in January, you do foundation concepts in Math 2. And in the summer, you do foundation concepts in Math 3. All right? So remember, it's your responsibility to ensure that you have that. And if you're not fully matriculated, please remember you have 1 year in which to complete all of that. So persons who are not fully qualified for the program that they're doing, you need to clear that up in this academic year. I mentioned already persons with City and Guilds Stage 3 Math, they only need to do foundation concepts in Math 2 and 3. For persons who do not have CXC English, you would do foundation English 1 and 2. And what's the same thing I mentioned about City and Guilds, if you have City and Guilds Stage 3 English, you would only do foundation English 2. All right, does anybody have any questions so far about what I have presented? Any questions? Everybody knows whether you must do foundation math or not? Yes, yes? Okay, foundation math 1 is done in the first semester. That's now, September to December. Foundation concepts in Math 2. By the way, we abbreviated FCM. So you'll hear people say FCM 1, FCM 2, FCM 3, all right? So, oh, I see, I'm coming. Foundation concepts in Math 2 is done in the January semester, semester 2. And foundation concepts in Math 3 is done in the summer. Yes, you're welcome. Somebody, yes, go ahead. For day students, yes. Right, approximately, yes. All right, now, the programs that you're doing are not Excelsior Community College programs. The programs that you're doing are what we call CCCJ programs, or sometimes you hear people say triple CJ, all right? So all community colleges, Montego Bay College, Portmore, Moneague, etc., we all do the same programs and we all do the same exams, all right? And so the meaning of CCCJ, as you see there from the first bullet, Council of Community Colleges of Jamaica, and you see their logo. It's a good idea to go on their website, cccj.edu.jm, and read their handbook as well. So a lot of the rules that we're going to mention, like what I just spoke about with 5 CSEC and Math and English, those are triple CJ rules, right? So even if somebody here give you a blie, so to speak, there's no such thing. They are going to check anyway, all right? So follow the rules, or else you'll hear after your 2 years or your 4 years, hey, you can't get your degree because you don't have CSEC math, right? So follow the rules. So they are our regulatory body. We follow the rules based on what they set. They also set the curriculum. So your syllabus, your course outlines come from them, right? So your teacher can't just teach what they feel like teaching. They have to follow the curriculum. Because when the exam comes, they are the examining body. So as I said before, all colleges will do the exams at the same time. So it's not like we can shift an exam date and things like that, all right? They also award your degree. So it's not an Excelsior degree that you'll be getting. It will be in combination with CCCJ. They also offer staff development, so from time to time your lecturers will have to go to some workshop or something, and they also offer grants from time to time. Dr. Malcolm Walker mentioned scholarships earlier and having a good GPA, so it's a good idea to follow that mantra so that anytime any scholarship comes along, you are eligible. All right, now a word on exemptions. So some of us have already done some courses elsewhere, right? You can be exempted from a particular course in your program. So for example, for computer students, there's a course in your program about networking. Suppose you already have a certification, CompTIA Network Plus, for example. You can decide to apply for exemption from the networking course, right? But as you see from the first bullet there, anything you use for matriculation, you can't use it also for exemption. So if that certification, CompTIA Network Plus, was used to get you into the program, you can't also use it for exemption, right? So you use your 5 CSEC separately, and then you can use that certification for your exemption. If you will note in your handbook that there are some CAPE subjects. So if you have CAPE, anybody have CAPE? So if you have CAPE IT, for example, you can decide to apply for exemption from Fundamentals of Information Technology. Or if you have CAPE Communication Studies, you can apply for exemption from Communication 1. Right? You don't have to apply for exemption. If you want to attend the class and all that, no problem. But you have that freedom to do so. There's an exemption form available at Student Affairs. You can fill up the form and all of that. And they always advise you to continue going to class until your exemption is approved, because that has to go to CCCJ. All right? Exemptions are only in writing, folks. Don't rely on word of mouth. Yeah, man, you get exempted. That won't fly. CCCJ produces a document to say you are exempted, all right? All right, now, your programs have what we call electives, and it's usually about two electives in each program. So what is an elective? It's a non-computer or a non-engineering program. It's a course that is not in your area of study. And usually your lecturer, your head of school will come to you and the semester before you're supposed to do the elective and ask you what choices would you like to do. So you have performing arts, you have marketing, you have ethics, Spanish, right? Those are examples of some of the electives. And then you will see that on your timetable. So electives are courses that you can choose from, but they are compulsory. You can't not do an elective, all right? Please make sure your elective is at the right level. So if you're a first or a second year student, you can't do a third or fourth year elective and vice versa, right? So make sure you're at the right level with your elective and your head of school will guide you. All right, now every lecturer will provide you with a copy of your course outline or syllabus. And this is a sample of what a course outline looks like. So you notice at the top, Council of Community Colleges of Jamaica, so that's where it comes from. You have the course name and the course code. You must be familiar with the correct name of your courses, and your course code, all right? Let me give you an example why you need to know that. Let's say you failed a course, and in first semester, and School of Business is offering that same course in second semester. How do you know it's the same course? by the name and the code. Because even if the name is the same, you might be doing the wrong course. All right? So make sure you know the course name, the course code. And the course code also tells you what level the course is at. So for example, the first 3 courses you see listed there, Discrete Math Communication 2 and Web Development 2, you notice the first number in the course code is a 1 or a 2. So that tells you whether it's an associate level course, or in the last 2, where you see the first number is a 3 or a 4, it's a bachelor level course. All right? So you need to know the level of your course or courses. All right? Or another reason you need to know your course code, let us say you have courses with the same name on the exam timetable, and you go into the wrong room and you do the wrong exam. So that can be an issue. So when you go into the exam, you check the cover page, is this the right course, exam that I'm doing? All right, this is the bottom page of the same document that I was showing you on the previous slide. So at the bottom of each course outline, you will notice that it mentions what are the textbooks for that course. So you're not going to get a book list. Each lecturer will give you a document called the course outline, and at the back page, it will tell you what the books are for that course. If you look at the top of the slide here, it also tells you how this course is being graded. So this particular course, you'll see each piece of coursework and how much each piece is weighted. So common coursework, group research project, you notice worth 10%. Item number 5, a mid-semester test, worth 10%. And the final exam for this course is worth 40%, right? So it's not just a final exam that you need to worry about for your courses. You need to look at the coursework, weighting versus the exam. And there are some courses that have no exam at all, so you need to be careful, all right? So as I said before, each lecturer will give you a copy of your course outline. All right, now what is a fast track or a self-paced course? As it says there, a fast track course is a course that is not offered in the usual semester. Right? So let us say fundamentals of information technology, you do it in the first semester. If a lot of persons failed it and make the request, we will offer it in the second semester. So we have to have enough persons who want to do it. And it will prevent you from having to wait until next September to do that course over, right? So these are courses based on request, right? So if you fail a course, and in this semester, you don't want to wait until September 2026. You can speak to your head of school, and if enough persons request it, then a fast-track course will be organized. Now, a self-paced course is a fast-track course that does not have enough persons. So let us say the program changed, and the course that you're doing no longer is offered. So it's just you alone left to do that course. Then you can do it self-paced, where you work on your assignments and things like that on your own. So I would advise you, do not fail anything so that you don't have to worry about things like this. All right, so exam matters. In December and in May, you will be doing your first semester and your second semester exams. As I mentioned before, these are set by CCCJ. All exams are done in the day, and all of the colleges do the same exam at the same time. So if there happens to be any evening students in the room, you also have to do your exams in the day. And so you have to be aware and make arrangements for the time off. If you are overseas, if you look at the second bullet where it says proctor option is available, if you're overseas or you're out of town, you can arrange for a proctor to invigilate your exam wherever you are. So that facility is available if needed. Okay. The website, all of the exam timetables are posted on the website. And remember what I said again about taking responsibility for your learning So nobody's going to come to you and say, hey, Marlon, your exam is next week, Monday at 5 o'clock, you know. No, that's not how it works. Your responsibility is to go to the website, look through all of the courses, find your 6 courses, and know when you have to come here for your exam, all right? And there are ways of dealing with clashes. Let us say you are in second year and you are redoing a first year course and the exam dates clash. That can be organized, not a problem. You just need to make us aware beforehand. Now, how your final grades are comprised, as I showed you the sample course outline, coursework and your final exam grades are combined. And I'm going to give you an example of a calculation shortly. And as you can see, there exams are in December, May, and August. So about the second week in December, second week in May, and about the third week in August. Now, in order to do exams, you need an exam permit, which you print from our system, right? So you have to be registered for your courses to be able to print that permit. And so you need to be aware of that. So if you're not registered for a course, you won't be able to do the exam. You also need your ID, and we encourage you to walk with your ID at all times, all right? And your ID contains your ID number. That's another fact that you need to remember. You need to know your ID number, right? And whenever you are emailing anyone, whether exams department, student affairs, your lecturer, your head of school, whoever you're emailing, you need to identify yourself. I am John Brown, my ID number is so-and-so, I am in the automotive program, year 1, and then you can talk about what is the issue you're emailing about. Sometimes you send an email and we don't have a context as to what this is about. So please identify yourself when you send an email. After you've done your exams, please keep your exam permit safe. The same way in high school you kept that receipt safe, keep your exam permit safe just in case of anything. All right? All right, so I spoke about how grades are calculated. So here is an example using a 40% coursework, 60% exam course. Now, as I said before, different courses have different weightings. So some courses are 50% coursework, 50% exam. Some are 60-40, some are 40-60, some are 100% coursework. All right? So here's an example with a 40-60 weighting. So that 40% is made up of 3 items: a test out of 15, an assignment out of 5, and a project out of 20. Right? So that you got 80%, 80%, and 50%. You cannot just average them, because that's what some persons do. You work it out yourself, you average it, and so you say, no, that's not how it works. It's 12 out of 15. That 80% is worth 15% of the 40. Everybody understanding the math so far? Anybody lost? No hands? Okay. So how do you work out the coursework? As you can see here, the 12 plus the 4 plus the 10. 12 for the test, 12 out of 15, 4 out of 5 for the assignment, and 10 out of 20 for the project. And you end up with 26 out of 40, or 65%. All right? Can somebody quickly calculate, if you were to average these 3 grades, the 80, the 80, and the 50, how much would you get? Work it out on your calculator. If you were to just average those 3 numbers, what would you get? %, right.
Who said that? Who said that? Who said that? Come here.
All right, so you cannot just average the numbers, guys. It is based on the weighting of each piece of work. All right, so this person's coursework grade is 65%, or 26 out of 40. You see that there are rewards when you volunteer, guys? All who don't want to talk. All right, so let's look at the exam now. So the person got 70% in the exam, which works out to be 42 out of 60. All right, so the person got 26 out of 40 for coursework, 42 out of 60 for the exam. So when you add those two numbers, the 26 and the 42, the person's final grade is 68. So when you go on the system, you will see the 65% for coursework, you'll see the 70% for exam, and then you'll see the combined grade, coursework and exam, you'll see a B minus on the system. Now, how did I get that B minus? This table here is in your handbook, so it gives you an idea of what is the letter grade for whatever final percentage you get, and the GPA. Right? So you notice the higher your grade, the higher the GPA points, and these points are used to be added up to get your class of degree. All right, so I'll give you a few moments to look through this. While you're looking there, can somebody tell me what's a pass mark? Based on this table here, what's a pass mark? Oh, some of it chopped off there. Oh, I noticed some of the numbers are chopped off. So it's 90 to 100 is the first one, 80 to 89, 75 to 79, 70 to 74, 65 to 69, 60 to 64, 55 to 59, 50 to 54, 45 to 49, 40 to 44, and 0 to 39. What's the pass mark, guys? Can I work it out? All right, you notice right here it says marginal fail, resit, and you say fail. So right here, below this line is a failure. So up to a C minus is a pass. So 50 to 54 is a C minus. So once you get a C minus and above, you know that you have passed the course, right? You notice where it says D plus, 45 to 49 is a D plus. I'm going to speak on resits and redos in the next slide. So that's where I'll be. So right here where it says 45 to 49, a D plus, marginal fail or resit. I'm going to deal with that shortly. All right, so once you get below 50%, you have failed the course, but there are different degrees of failure. All right, so it's called a resit if you get a D plus, or a redo, right? So if you look at the fourth bullet, it says resits become redos if the resit exam is not done within a year. So, for example, if you fail a course this semester, right? So that's semester 1, 2025. You have until semester 1, 2026 to do that resit exam. So after semester 1, 2026, that resit will now become a redo. So be very aware of that. Once you get a D plus, it's your responsibility to make sure you do that exam within a year, right? For the next bullet, where it says resit grades are made up of the exam and the previous coursework. So when you do over the exam, they use the coursework grade from the previous time you did the course and add those together. Now I've highlighted the next one. Courses that do not have exams do not have resits. So this semester, for example, you guys will be doing Communication 1. That course is 100% coursework. And so if you fail that course with a resit grade, it is a redo. So please be aware of that. So the moral of the story, don't fail anything, and you should be okay. And once you have to redo a course, you have to pay for the course again. You have to go back to class and get a new coursework grade, etc. So avoid that sort of thing. those of you who are on K-13 scholarship, that's Exed Academy persons, once you have to redo a course, you have to pay for that. That's not part of the scholarship. So please be aware of that. Now, your lecturers will provide you with a rubric when you have an assignment, and the best way to get a good grade in your assignments is to follow the rubric. So, for example, item C, 3 advantages and 2 disadvantages for 5 marks. If you give only 1 advantage, you're only getting 1 out of the 5 marks, right? So follow the rubric. Don't give up marks voluntarily. Look at the rubric that your lecturer has given you, see how you're going to be graded, and get the best mark possible, right? Do not leave out anything. And a good idea is to use the headings in the rubric as your headings. The items in the rubric as your headings in the assignment, all right? All right, now next year this time, you expect to be promoted to year 2. So you can't be promoted with more than 9 credits outstanding. Each course is approximately 3 credits. You do have some courses that are 4 credits, and you do have a few courses that are 2 credits, right? But most of them are 3. So 9 credits is approximately 3 courses. If you have more than 3 courses outstanding next year this time, your head of school is not going to promote you to second year. Also, if your matriculation is incomplete, like you have some C6 outstanding, foundation concepts in math outstanding, etc., you won't be promoted to second year next year, all right? Also, when you plan to go to year 3, if you have more than 6 credits outstanding, and then your first year course is outstanding, you won't be promoted, and so on. You should also be aware that some courses have prerequisites. So, for example, this semester you're doing Communication 1. Next semester, you're supposed to do Communication 2. All right? Communication 1 is a prerequisite of Communication 2. So if you fail Communication 1, you won't be allowed to do Communication 2. All right? Now, sometimes based on discussion with your head of school during academic advisement, based on your circumstance, your head of school might allow you to go ahead and do Communication 2. In those cases, you have to request an override on the system and wait for your head of school to approve it, right? So be aware, when you see that on the system, you know what it means. Override request, you submit the override request, you put in your reason. That is if you don't have the prerequisite. So in 2 years' time and in 4 years' time, we expect everybody to be graduating. And you'll notice some things that are listed here that someone else will speak on, such as work experience and social outreach, information literacy, etc. So I will now, does anybody have any questions before I call them up? No. Yes, go ahead. Yes, there's a cost to resit an exam if you got a resit grade. However, if you missed the exam because you were ill, something like that, something legitimate and you have the evidence, they won't charge you. But you have to pay for to resit an exam, or if you have to redo a course, it's you pay a higher amount. So the resit amount is less than the redo. All right, so I don't see the social outreach person here, but the sports person is here. So I will call up Mr. Scott to speak about sports.
If there are persons at the back who need a seat, just come to the front. There are other chairs here that you can sit.
Good morning. Come on, louder than that. Good morning. All right, welcome to Excelsior. Everybody serious, sir. needs to sound smiling, like we're happy to be here. Marlon. All right, so I'm here to talk about sports and sporting activities that we take part in the school and also outside the intercal, and also sports day. Starting with sports day, every second semester we have our annual sports day, which fun and nice, and we have after fet after, and you guys is placed in different halls. So the college have 5 halls, and you guys are placed in halls. Okay, all right. So as I see up here, the names of the halls. You will see it on your ID, on the bottom of your ID, the name of the hall you're in. So from there, you see we send out, we call it, activities that we will be taking part in. So you guys can come out, be a part right throughout the year. Like coming in October, we have like Mr. and Mrs. Fitness. So you guys can take part for win points for your halls leading up to sports day. For intercal, we enter football, basketball, track and field, volleyball, rugby, and netball. So, guys, if you play sports and you want to be a part of it, you can come sign up and start training as soon as possible. I will need your help. Yeah, 'cause we need to take home some more trophy to the school. We are the defending champion in basketball 2 years straight, and we need your help, guys, to come out and keep that going. Yeah. So now, Sir Johnson is one of the track and field coach, so he's going to say 2 words.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. You know, as I look on, I see so many people with potential. I see so many champions. Are you a champion? Are you a champion? You know, interestingly, you know, one of the freest thing and the best thing we have, we don't utilize it very well. And I'm going to ask you, just change your position. Stand, take a deep breath. Stand, take a deep breath with me. Inhale and exhale. Stand for me. Just
Stand, people. Stand. Let's go. Stand.
I want you to know, inhale and exhale. Exhale. Slowly. Inhale. Exhale. Slowly. Once more. Inhale. Exhale. Thank you. You may be seated. Give yourself a clap. Now, students, what you have just done, you have actually revived your muscles and all the respiratory system. The brain needs oxygen, all right? And circulation. Now, some of us sit sometimes for hours, and we cut off circulation. And sometimes, some of these things are, some of the things that happen, we have what? Tell me some of the things when we lack, when oxygen stops and blood stops circulating around our body. Somebody tell me one thing. What's that? I didn't hear that one. Fewer erection. That's true. What else? Stroke. What else? Cramps. What else? Heart attack. And sometimes we are encouraging some of these things as simple as a seat. So I implore you, sometimes even when you're in class, it's not rude to say, can I stand and relax and stretch and take a deep breath, all right? So give yourself a round of applause here. Now students, just a few minutes. I am one of the coaches here. I've been coaching here since part-time since 2012. And when I came in here, I was reminded of myself many, many years ago when I attended the Michael College, around your age. How many of you can you guess how many years that ago? That's it? over 40 years ago. And I was a volleyballer, I did track and field, I did so many other sports. I majored in science and PE and many other subjects, and I never failed a subject. And students, I was involved in sports every single day. I never failed an exam. Now there's something that we have to practice. It starts with B. We must have this in everything you do. Anybody can tell me? You have to create. You need to give. Do we have an incentive? Who is the person? We have to create a. Give her a round of applause, man. We have an incentive. You must create a balance, students, in anything you do, right? There's an option. You must never fail, all right? You can participate, you can take part in anything as long as you create that balance. And the balance means you can't spend too much time doing the sport. And you must spend some time to do recreation and also time to do your academics, all right? You have your social life and you have so many other things. Some of you here are young parents, am I right? We have young parents, we have sometimes family members that you have to take care of, all right? Now, students, there are 3 types. Every single one of you can participate in some activity. And there are 3 types. And there was a few years ago, somebody came to Jamaica and they said, I've never seen so many talented people in any one place, and we don't utilize it to the best of our ability. Jamaica has some of the most talented, if not the most talented people in the world. There are 3 types of persons, and every one of you fit in that. And we have to give this person a prize if they get it. We have somatotypes. Anybody can tell me the 3 somatotypes? The somatotype that determine your body. And rather than say somebody mager, or somebody fat, or somebody, we can talk about the somatotype. Anybody can tell me? I heard one over here. We have the ectom, and what type of person is that? You know more. So tell me. Okay. You have the slimmer type person. All right. So you have the mesomorph, which is the bigger type person with a lot more fat and so on. But they are much more powerful. So what event do you think persons, the mesotype can do? Mesomorph. A mesomorphic person, strong, powerful. I see one of them in front of me. Fit more like mesomorph. Right? Don't be afraid, and don't be afraid to make mistakes. Right? So you have 3 types, students. I see a hand over here. Right? Yeah, man. And the endomorph. All right. So there's one that is slim, the endomorph. And the fat person is, and I don't want to use the term fat, right? So use the mesomorphic type of person, right? The endomorph and the ectomorph, right? And every one of you can fit in that, right? So we're going to challenge you, right? Whatever you think your potential is, do something. And also, you don't have to be a sport person. Find some recreation, all right? Time out, 30 minutes of walk, right? Bicycle riding, you name it, to keep yourself fit. Because right now, the gym people are making the most money, right? Because the persons who, when they are like your age, they don't think they need to do it. And later on, they have to spend thousands, right, to get themselves to fitness level, all right? So I implore you, make use of your time in college, all right? Create that balance, all right? and also find some time to do something that you can represent your college with pride. All right? So all the best, and have a wonderful year.
Can I get four males and 2 females up here, please? Let's come. Come. 2 females. All right, guys, we have 3 competition. We have 2 persons for keep-up competition, 2 for push-up competition. I need 2 girls for squat competition. Two females. All right. Yeah, push 2. All right.
Just an announcement quickly. We're supposed to be having a female football team, so now would be a good time to come and show your skills. So please, females, let us see what is happening.
All right, so these persons will contest in the. All right, these 2 persons contest in the keep-up competition, so you guys can come for us. All right. Yeah. Much? All right. No. Go. So we have a winner. All right, thank you. All right, 2 persons for the push-up competition. Guys, I need to hear you guys counting louder. All right, good work, guys. So we have two gold medals for the 2 winners. Yeah. Thank you, guys. I hope to see you come out to play sports, both intercal and take part in sporting activities throughout the school. Don't be boring. Let's have fun.
All right, thank you, Mr. Scott and team. And make note of your hall, guys. So the School of Computer Studies, you're in the Nadine Scott Hall. Purple is your color. Oh, those interested in sports, after the session, you can sign up outside, okay? All right, so School of Computer Studies, Nadine Scott, purple, and each hall is assigned a counselor. So your counselor is Ms. Sabrina Morgan. And School of Engineering, Logistics, and the Built Environment, you are in the Wesley Powell Hall, which is green, and your counselor is Sasha Gay Bennett Nelson. All right? Now, in the same vein with the sports, etc., you should, Ms. Torres Dunbar should have been here to speak about clubs and societies. So in her absence, I'm going to call up the individual club leaders. So you'll notice on your timetable, when you get your timetable, that Thursdays at 3 o'clock, you have no class. But that's not time to go home. It's your extracurricular time, all right? So for the School of Computer Studies students, they normally are in what we call ECOTS, and the meaning of that abbreviation is there, Excelsior Consortium of Technology Students. The club advisor is Mr. Paul Taylor. And for the engineering club, Mrs. Christina Francis was the club advisor last academic year, but she's currently acting as assistant head of school. And so I think Mrs. Watson is now the club advisor. I don't know who's going to come up. So I'm going to invite Mr. Taylor and either Mrs. Watson or Mrs. Francis, 2 minutes each to talk about ECOTS and the engineering club.
Good morning, everyone. A warm welcome to Excelsior Community College. For me, I consider it to be the college of dreams, the college of dream, and the college that basically turns passion into reality. Sorry. All right, so I'm basically in charge of ECOTS, which is, as it says, it's Excelsior Consortium of Technological Students, which is basically the computer science club for the college. What we do, we basically have sessions like workshops on, so for instance, coding. We have from time to time lecturers, guest lecturers, whereby presenters from the field of, or in the field of computer science, they come and they give lectures on different aspects of technology. We also have hackathons whereby we are a part of competitions, not just within our colleges within Jamaica, but also internationally. You know, it's a vibrant club. I hope to see most of you. We are actually, we meet Thursdays in Lab 3, which most of you will be familiar with as we go along. And also we are online because, as you know, it's a IT club. So therefore, you know, we'll have our IT space as well. But come out because we do big things. We do big things. And for this upcoming year, I have great plans. You know, so come out and be a part. There will be a club and society expo sometime, but you'll get the date in your email. So at that time, you can come, you know, meet and greet with current students who are a part of the club, and you know, just engage and join up as well. So hope to see you all.
Thank you. And for the engineering club, so we meet at the School of Engineering, Logistics, and Built Environment, right at Dinero Road. So for the Selby students, we're going that side. So we meet in the computer lab. Now, what we have done so far is to divide up the sessions. So we had introduction to AutoCAD, so for about 3 weeks. So we had a lecturer coming and discuss, and you did some practice drawings as well. Introduction to robotics. So we had some coding, and persons were able to did their own coding, and they saw it on the screen and the words coming up. Then we also did introduction to mechanics. So we had that lecturer spoke about different car types and what we can do, and then we got introduction to robotics. Also, we went to a conference that looked at mechanics, how do you improve the foundation systems. It was a nice workshop, and that's where persons were able to, network. And we have coming next week the annual engineering week, where the Jamaica Institute of Engineering, they are promoting, and they're coming together at the Pegasus Hotel, and they are going to have different schools come together, and they're going to be competing, and they're going to have a lot of fun. So we are asking persons to come. If you're interested in being a part of the club, we have Miss Watson. She is taking charge this year and wants you to add your names to the group so that we can meet, and if you have some ideas that we can do come Thursday. Next week, Thursday, we're having a competition. So any idea that you might have to improve, and we can, make the Excelsior great, So our names be out there, and we can network and have persons coming and help the school. So if you have ideas, come to Miss Watson and myself and be a part of the club so that we can, put Excelsior in a larger environment, right? So if you're going to meet, show hands. You're going to be a part of the club? I say 1 hand up, beautiful, 2 hands, 3, beautiful, 4, 5. Thank you. So both of us will be looking out for you to come to us, all right? Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Taylor and Mrs. Francis. So guys, you're building your resume. You don't want 2 or 4 years to pass, and the only thing that we can say on a recommendation letter is that you attended the school and you did well in your academics. You want to distinguish yourself from the other students who are at that job interview, all right? All right, so I now invite Ms. Stephanie Dunbar to speak on student finance matters.
Good morning, students. Okay, I am the financial aid officer, and I am here to give you some scholarship opportunity guides. Just as Miss said a while ago, don't wait, use your extracurricular in order to secure scholarship and funding as well. Because sometimes those agencies want to see that you participate in school activities as well. Some of the persons who give scholarship and funding to the students are as follows. You have Student Loan Bureau. They give target loans up to $1 million on tuition. You have pay-as-you-study loans for persons working, or if your parents are working, they can take the loan out for you and pay on a monthly basis. It's $1 million on tuition as well. You have Ministry of Finance. They offer scholarship for public officers and tertiary grant for children of public sector workers, amounting up to $100,000 to $150,000. You have the Ministry of Labor that offers the part tertiary bursary, and recently at the end of August, they increased their uptake. It was 100,000. It is now 150,000. Persons on part but not doing a bachelor program, there is also grants that you can make use of through part office. Likewise, persons who are not on part, you can get assistance from the Ministry of Labor. They have the Educational and Social Intervention Grant. That is 80,000, and you have the Social Integration Program, SIP. and that you can make benefit of that as well. Those are open. Ministry of Education, they offer JAMVAT, which is 30% on tuition, but you have to give back 200 hours in a non-profit organization. And they also have the financial assistance grant, which is 100,000. However, these scholarship, most of the scholarship that I mentioned above, they open April and close June. So you wouldn't, at this point, you wouldn't be able to apply for those. You would have to apply in the next semester. You have Ministry of Health for our nurses, which is the Barry Wint Memorial Scholarship, which offers $1 million on tuition only. You have also the National Health Fund and Chase Fund that you can benefit from. National Youth Service offers 20% on tuition for 3 years, and you can ask your Member of Parliament for assistance. A point to note for persons getting scholarship and grant, please ensure that you get commitment letters so those can hold on your file to know that funds are coming, and then you would make good on the difference. If you don't get those commitment letters, it will be treated that you're still owing the full tuition, sorry. We have internal scholarship for persons in second year through to fourth year, where you can get 100% on your tuition, but you have to maintain a GPA of 2.5 or more. Remember, you're competing against all the campuses, so the better your grades, the likelihood you would be selected. You also have departmental scholarship, which range 20 to 25%. You have to maintain a GPA of 2.5. There is a community grant. It's a grant, so it's not much money. If you're having difficulty on your tuition, and you could come and seek assistance in a grant. We also have the Lloyd Records and Colin Garland Educational Trust. You can write in if you're having a problem in paying your school fee. It would go to a committee and you would be assessed and you would be given a scholarship. There are other scholarship opportunities outside of what I mentioned. You have the Carreras Jamaica Limited, you have Grace Kennedy Foundation, Bustamante Foundation, Tasties Limited, and Scotia Life Jamaica. Okay, I have right beside the quick QR code, those are listed so you can take pictures of those. You can also send me an email for persons you can see, financialaid@ecc.edu, and I will let you know what is available or how I can assist. My unit where I am located, I'm located around the enrollment department, and I have an office in there, so you can come and see me. Are there any questions? No? All right, so make use of the information listed on the wall. Thank you for listening.
All right, thank you, Ms. Dunbar. Guys, please take note of those email addresses if you have not yet done so. Now, there are some, in addition to your programming and your AutoCAD and all that stuff, there are some additional courses that you have to do. Some of them are non-credit. And so I'll be asking different persons to speak on them. So I now invite Ms. Herfa Morrison, who will speak on information literacy.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. You're looking so beautiful down there, but sounding so poorly. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Can I get a brighter one? No, I'm going to juice it out now. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Awesome. All right, so I am from the library, and I'm here to talk to you or introduce you to who we are. We're just right over there. We're in the vicinity of the library compound. We are a support unit, and we do offer resources for students and faculty members, so we are encouraging you to come in and use it. Our functions are many, and our services are also many. So please come in and visit us and learn about us, become independent users of the library. I only have 5 minutes, but I have a lot to say. So I speak specifically on information literacy. The library has developed a self-paced course. It's a non-credit course, but it is relevant to you doing your journey here. Because when you write your assignments, the teachers are expecting you to write in a certain way. We call it academic writing, where you're expected to put in your in-text citations and also your referencing list. Some people may call it bibliography, some may call it a reference list, right? And that comes at the end of your work. There are different modules that are in this particular course that you are expected to complete in your own time. So these modules or this course is not timetabled for anyone. You would have to find that time and do this course. You get your different badges for the modules that you've completed. So you may have one on how to use the databases that we provide through the library. You might have another one that teaches you how to do summarizing and paraphrasing when you're writing your work. They have another one that will teach you how to use your different in-text citation or writing styles in your work. And this is necessary because when you write your assignments, this is what your teachers are looking out for when they're marking. And it does make up a percentage of your grade, right, miss? Right. So the style that we are using, or the majority of students that are using here at Excelsior, is the APA writing style. Has anyone ever heard about that particular style of writing? Anybody? All right. So that is what that is how you're going to be expecting to write. It basically gives you a standard of how to format your work and how to do your in-text citation and stuff like that. We are using what is called the APA 7th edition. There's where we are. And we have text in the library that you can use. And we also encourage our students to go online to use that particular style of writing by going to what is called Purdue OWL. So it will give you different ways of how to write different publications in your work, how to cite them, and how to write your reference list. All right? So when you go on to your self-paced course, that's there. You know, when you want to use our databases, we also have a website that gives you access to our print collection. So there is an OPAC that gives you, when you go in, you might search for a title of a book or the author of a work, and you should be able to get the bibliographic detail of that work, and that will tell you where exactly on the shelf or which campus it can be found. All right? The website will also provide links to our databases that we have. We have about 3 or 4 of them that we pay for you, and we also have open access resources that deals with specific disciplines. But we try to make our databases as multidisciplinary as possible. They have thousands of resources, whether it be book, journals, articles, or any kind of resources you can find. And you should find something that is relevant to your field of study. So whatever you're studying, I think most of you are like computer students. I don't know if there's any different, but we do have our online databases. We try to build our print collection to make it current. Right now we are doing whole-scale collection development. So I hope that it will work out for you soon enough. All right? I want to just put my 2 cents worth of welcoming you here, and congratulations on this milestone. I look forward to seeing you around and to hearing big things about you. Take care. Are there any questions, by the way? Okay, visit us at the library. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Morrison. I'm not seeing anybody from the counseling service unit. Am I right? No? All right, so I'll just mention what they would have said. So as you can see there on the screen, Ms. Morrison just spoke about the information literacy self-paced course. There are 2 other self-paced courses. You'll see what the second one called PACE. So this semester, you will do information literacy and PACE, and you see the meaning of PACE there. So they talk about being a good citizen and all that type of thing, those kind of things. Next semester, you will do what we call UVAC, a Values and Attitudes course. So these are all self-paced, meaning you don't have a teacher. You go on the system, it's called Canvas. You go on the system and you read the content, you watch the videos, you do the quizzes, and at the end you'll get your badges and so on, all right? For some of you, you'll actually see it on the timetable, so you can select it when you're selecting your courses. But remember, you don't have a teacher, it's not a class that you go to. You would go on the system and do the activities on your own. All right, so I don't see anybody from social outreach right now, but there's another important non-credit course that you guys must do. It's compulsory. Even if you get A in every single course, you cannot get your degree without completing this course. And it's called social outreach. All right? So each student is required to do 30 hours in a non-profit organization, or for working persons, the evening students, for example, they arrange projects or a lapathon, right? And at the end of it, so it's a 2-semester thing. So you do the theory part this semester. It's a 1-hour class on your timetable, you will see. And then next semester, you do the practical part where you execute the projects. And you must give in a report, and your lecturer will give you the format for that report. So you cannot complete your program without this, all right? So be aware. I saw Mr. Nigel Parrott earlier, but I'm not seeing him right now. So let me speak on work experience. So when you're a second-year student, so as first-year students, you don't need to worry about this right now, but be aware that when you're in second year as well as 4th year, you have to do work experience, all right? And it's a 3-credit course. So it's done, as the 4th bullet says, both at the associate and bachelor's level, so second year and 4th year. And you have to do 240 hours in an organization. If you're a working person, you do 80 hours. And it must be in your area of study. All right? If it's not in your area of study, that project won't be marked. All right? All right, now, the ICT person is not here right now, but you need to be aware of what the systems are and the purpose of the systems. So there's a system called Arion, and it is our student management system, or SMS, right? And I have a screenshot of the website, and I've circled where you locate it on the, oh, Mr. Pinnock is here, so he can speak on Arion and Canvas.
All right, thank you very much, Ms. Campbell. Good morning, everyone. My name is Kirk Pinnock. I am responsible for ICT here at the campus, and throughout your stay here, you will have to interface with our department from time to time for various issues that you may have. You need access to Wi-Fi, where the department that you will need to come to. You need to select your courses and or have any issues with that, then ICT is the department that will assist you with that as well. So any ICT-related problems that you have with any of the systems that you will use while here at the institution, ICT is only happy and able to assist you with those. Now, I just walked into the room, so I didn't have a presentation ready, but I'm just going to we're just going to talk on 4 things that were mentioned. All right, so during your time here at Excelsior, we expect you to utilize 4 systems, and 4 systems very, very well. The first one is Arian, and Arian is where it all starts, because Arian will be the gateway through which you access all the other systems. In fact, if you don't interface with Arian any at all while you're here, you will not have access to course content, you will not have access to be able to submit your assignment, get grades, or anything at all like that. You'll be shut out and cut off from everything related to your college life and activities here at the institution. Solomon, call you back. Sorry about that. All right, so Arian is what we call our student management system. If you go to our main website, you will find a link to Arian on that page. Now, most of you should have received your welcome package. By show of hands, how many of you have received your welcome kit already? Everybody should. All right, everybody should have received your welcome kit. Now, in your welcome kit, there is a step-by-step guide to show you how to start the process of getting ready to come to school. And if you have not started that process yet, you're very late because school starts on Monday. One of the first things that you were required to do was to activate your Arian account. Now, when you activate your Arian account, it will ask you for basic information such as your date of birth, as well as ask you to enter secret questions and answers so that if you're locked out, you can regain access on your own. And if that fails, then you can come to where? All right, good. So once you have activated your account, that gives you access so that you can start the process of coming to the institution. Once the portal is open for course selection, which we expect to be very soon as tomorrow, for your faculty, then we expect that you will start selecting your courses. A site, and I should have said 5 places, because the first place that you will need to go to is TT, and I want you to write it down, TT, okay. All right, so it's tt.ecc.edu.jm. That is the timetabling site. Now, based on the group that you're assigned to, which you can see on the slide, you must be, based on your program, you'll be assigned to one of the groups that are shown there. So I know you guys are the generation who likes to take pictures, so let me kind of step out of the way a bit so that you can do that to know which group you're in. And so once you identify your group, ladies and gentlemen, we expect that you'll go on the tt.ecc.edu site to find your timetable. Now, why is this important? Because when you go to Arian to select your courses, we expect you to select only the courses that are on your timetable. So we don't want you to select courses because your friend had do it, or your friend said this was a good course to do. You must only select the courses that are on your timetable. All right? Campbell, can you switch me back?
Another key thing that you need to realize as well
If you select the wrong courses, the process has to start over. It means that you have to request that the courses be dropped and start back over to selection. So you want to use the right timetable and ensure you're selecting the right courses from the start.
All right. So Mr. Rose just reiterated that. And guess what? If you don't select the right courses, you won't get your course content. You won't be able to do the assignments that are assigned to you in class because the wrong courses will appear on your canvas. So whatever you select on Arian is what will go on Canvas. And what is Canvas? It's a learning management system. That's where you will go and see the notes for your classes, all the assignments. That's where you will find the syllabus for your course. You will find the course development plan, which outlines how your instructor intends to deliver the course. And so you will see the dates for your assignments there. You will see the date for your mid-semester and any other examinations that you will have to encounter within your course. And guess what? If you don't submit your assignments on Canvas, they will not be graded. So keep that in mind. So that's how important selecting the right courses is, because it certainly will set you on the path to complete your course. If you do the wrong thing, you're setting yourselves back. So the Arian platform is where you will go and select your courses. So by now, I expect that everybody has activated their Arian account. In the guide, you will find links that will provide you with a short guide on how to select courses on Arian. Please watch those videos beforehand. A lot of persons do get misguided by listening to friends and doing the wrong thing. But look at that short video that is in the welcome kit, and that will tell you exactly how you're to select your courses. If you get messages like a course is filled or anything, you can either come directly to the IT department or you can report it to your respective head of school, and they will ensure that the course contains enough capacity for you to select it and move on in the process. So Arian need to interface with that. So we looked at two systems already. The timetabling system, you have got the URL for that. You should be able to identify your group. Then you're going to interface with Arian to select all your courses. Now, once you have selected your courses, and also an important step that I won't go into very much, but after you've selected your courses, you are required to make financial arrangements with the institution. Now, that either means that you pay your school fee in full, you pay for the semester, or you go and exercise your right to a payment plan so that you can pay for your schooling in a structured way that is manageable for you and your family. All right? Now, once you have done that, ICT will automatically generate what we call a single sign-on account for you. So we will generate both a username and a password for you. That username and password will be sent to the email that you specified on your application form. So if any of you know that you supplied something incorrect there, or the account that is on your application form is no longer being used, you need to go to Student Affairs and correct the email that is on the account as your alternative contact. So once that information is sent out to you, we expect you to start utilizing it. And that account that is sent to you will now give you access to a whole assortment of resources that are available here at Excelsior Community College to help you to excel and to succeed in college. So that account will give you access to the Wi-Fi on campus. That account will give you access to Canvas so that you can access your course information. And thirdly, that account will also give you access to your college email account. So you see, that one account that you get after selecting your courses and making your financial arrangements will give you access to all of those resources. And which resources are those again? Canvas, email, Wi-Fi. It will also give you access to Microsoft Office 365, a legitimate version, not a bootleg version, that you can download and install on your computers and use for the duration of your time here at the college, once you maintain a good relationship with the college. You know what I mean by a good relationship with the college, right? Do I need to specify that? Huh? You need to make sure that you maintain, you keep your payment plan up to date. So once you don't maintain that, and you don't talk to the people in student finance to explain to them if you have any challenges and so on, then you might find that your account becomes disabled. And we wouldn't want that. So it's a relationship, it's a give and take. So you give to us, and we in turn take that and give to you. Right? So we want to maintain that relationship right throughout your journey here at the institution. And so when you also get that account and you log into the portal, you may also find a lot of other resources that are available to you as a result of getting that student account information. Right? And so that's it in a nutshell in terms of what you have to look forward to in terms of IT. So remember, the systems that we support are your timetabling system, your Canvas for your course content, Arian, Wi-Fi access, and your college email account. And you may have other general issues. We're helpful in other areas that are not on the portfolio. For general guidance, we're only happy as part of the institution to provide you with assistance in all of these areas as well. And so you'll find that as you continue here at Excelsior, the ICT department is your friend, and we ask that any issue that you have, you reach out to us. We're more than happy to help. I thank you all for listening. If you have any questions, you can answer them. You can ask them now, and I'll try as best as possible to answer them. Any questions? All right, our office is located on Block A. We are on the middle floor, or the first floor as you call it. We're right beside the computer studies office. So the white door in the middle, that's our office. And we will also give you information on, and you get other information on our support channels, emails that you can send requests to, and you can take down this one. It's ICT support. ICT support. SUPPORT at ecc.edu.jm. And that will get you all the assistance you need. If you have any issue or complaint, even outside of operating hours, once a member of the team is monitoring, if you send in a request, we will handle that for you within 24 hours. ICT SUPPORT at ecc.edu.jm. www.edu.jm.
I'm encouraging everyone to take down that email address, because I assure you, you're going to have some challenges sometime, and you're going to need that support team to give you. For instance, if your password gets expired and you're having a challenge to reset it, then you need to contact ICT or any other challenge like that. So everyone, take down that email address so you don't have to ask or panic.
Yes.
Yes, lowercase.
Yeah, it's not case sensitive. So if you even type it in all caps, it will still come to us.
Any other question for Mr. Pinnock? Ask now.
Well, thank you all for your time. I'll now turn back over to Mrs. Campbell, who will continue with the program.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Pinnock. Give him a hand. He's very hardworking. ICT team. All right. So, as Mr. Pinnock was speaking earlier about the timetable, so you all have that URL there. And just so that we all understand what is what, if you're a first-year MIS student, raise your hand, please. You're all supposed to know what program you're in. All right, so your timetable, AMIS 1A. So that's who you are. That's the timetable you look for. First year information technology. So you are ADIT 1. Now I want to apologize from now to the ADIT students. At the last minute, a lot of persons applied, and so your group is very large. So in the first week, you're going to be kind of cramped in some of your classes, because we didn't know that we'd have this large group because of the last minute thing, right? So we're going to split you into ADIT 1 and ADIT 1B. But we have to confirm the numbers first. So after the first week, when we are sure how many of you are there, then we're going to split your class into 2. All right? So don't be too worried when you find out, hey, my class is real large, right? We're going to be splitting you in 2. And any other group that happens to grow at the last minute, the same thing will happen. Okay, we'll also give you the option to move to another program that might be less. So for example, the computer applications and business studies, computer engineering technology, all right? How many of you are in applied computer science, year 1? So you would look for the ADCS 1 timetable, all right? Architecture and construction, first year. So you would be looking for AD Contech 1A. All right? Engineering students. All right? So you'll be looking for AD ENG SCI 1. So that's where you'd find your timetable. The auto students. So you are AD Auto 1A. And renewable energy. So you are OAD RN 1B. Please write it down. Is there anybody which? Architecture? ADCONTECH-1A. All right, so that's your timetable. All right. Is there anybody who I didn't mention? For example, is there any evening student in here? Evening? Didn't you raise your hand before? You're MIS first year evening student? Wait, clarify again for me, please. Oh, you're MIS day student first year.
You're evening? Okay.
Wait, I'm not hearing you.
It says evening.
Which program? You're an evening student from which program? MIS, IT, auto, construction, which program?
All right, come to me later on.
Oh, okay. Somebody else had their hand up. What program are you? In the day? In the evening. So you are ADIT1 EVE. That's your timetable. Anybody else not sure? Anybody else, your program wasn't called? Which program, sir?
Electrical installation.
Electrical installation. That's an NCT VET course. I think that's on the Exit Academy. You have the Exit Academy orientation tomorrow? I'm not hearing you. Not sure. I think you have that orientation tomorrow, so you can ask in the Exit Academy orientation. All right, so everybody's aware of what their timetable is, right? I see a hand. What program, sir? This is the Occupational Associate Degree in Renewable Energy. If it's an NCT VET course, you can ask at the Exit Academy. Yeah. I saw another hand. Did I? No? Okay. So everybody is aware of what their timetable is. So you'd go to this website and you choose your school, whether it's School of Computer Studies or School of Engineering, or you can bring up all of them, and then your specific timetable, you would locate that one, all right? Now here's what a typical timetable looks like. So this one is going across, sometimes it's coming down. So you would see, the first thing you would see is the name of the course. So this here, all of this in green from 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock. The students would have introduction to programming and the groups that are in the class, and the next thing here where it says lab 2, that's the room. And then the last thing that you'd see is the name of the lecturer. All right? Another example, here Tuesday at 10 o'clock, you see communication 1, the groups that are in that class, it's a combined group, the room 308A, and the name of the lecturer. All right? So I was speaking earlier about foundation math. So you'll notice on this timetable, on a Saturday from 9 o'clock, you'll see a Foundation Concepts in Math 1 class. Now remember what I was explaining earlier. If you already have CSEC Math, or you plan to do CSEC Math, and you happen to see a Foundation Concepts in Math class on your timetable, you can ignore it. So you don't select that class. So if you are going to be doing the Foundation Math courses, and you know who you are, then you would select it. All right?
In terms of the rooms, where you see 30, go back. Oh,
rooms, yeah.
You're gonna go? All right, go. All right, in terms of the rooms, block A is the block right behind us right here. Blocks are labeled. The room numbers starting from 300 to 309A are on the top floor. Each of the rooms are labeled above the doorway. So you look above the doorway, you'll see the numbers. For block B is over on that side. Sorry, bad direction. Over on that side, down. Blocks are, good thing about it, the blocks are labeled. So when you go into block B, you will see 100B to 309B. And remember I said the numbers of the rooms are above the doorway, so it's easy to find. When it comes on to the trailers are exactly what they are, trailers that are converted into classrooms. So right behind the area where the bookshop is, right, you see the various trailers, and they are labeled, for example, trailer 4A, trailer 4B, etc. The labels are above the trailers as well. For the labs most of the labs are on block A. So when you're on the second floor of block A, you see the various labs, and the labs are labeled from lab 1, lab 2, lab 3, lab 4, and so on. So it's easy to find, but remember they're on block A on the second floor. For block C, where you have the numbers as well, 101C, 102C, those are for what? Mechanical and construction. So they are labeled, that's a good thing. And if you're uncertain, you can always stop any of the staff members or any of the ANSIL members, and they will be able to tell you. or should be able to tell you, but they are properly labeled. For the lecture theater, right now you're in the main lecture theater. There are 2 more lecture theaters. There's the gym lecture theater, and it's called the gym lecture theater because it's close to the gym. And it's also called the chapel, because it looks like a chapel, yes. So it's close around to that area. And there's also 300B and to 302B, there's also a lecture theater as well. Campuses, let me talk about the campuses first. So this campus is the main campus. Right down the road, there's the engineering campus. That's, direction. When you go, as you go to the gate and head down the road to the corner, right there, it's properly labeled. That's the engineering, engineering campus. It's called Selby, easy to find. And Crossroad, almost in the heart of Crossroad, behind Captain's Bakery, there is the Crossroad campus. So you have business and nursing and other schools will be over there. On Camp Road, little before you reach up to Burt's, outer parts, on your left-hand side going up, there is the tourism campus. So that's also pretty easy to find. That's what in Kingston. The good thing is that they are properly labeled, so they are easily identified. Right? So Eureka is the Crossroad, Selby, down the road, and Camp Road, as you mentioned a while ago, is on Camp Road. And then we have a lot of our classes for the evening school are online. So you'll see the different rooms, and you'll see the different online classes, and you'll get that in your, what's it, email or in your timetable?
The Zoom links would be in Canvas.
Right, in Canvas. Yeah. Thank you.
The reason why we're telling you about the other campuses, for example, you might choose an elective. Let us say the rest of your class is doing Spanish as their elective, and you say, I don't want to know Spanish. I want to do baking. So you might want to go to the Camp Road campus if you can fit it into your timetable, right? And by the way, your elective must be from a CCCJ associate degree, right? You can't just choose any course like that, right? So be guided by your head of school. So that's why we're telling you about the Camp Road campus, for example, right? So when you look on the timetables, if you see CR, that class is at the Camp Road campus. Or if you see ER, the room starts with ER, you know it's a class at the Eureka campus. So just so you're aware. Now the Selby students, you will be on both the main campus and the Deanery Road campus. So you might have a class from 8 to 10 over there, and then you have to walk over here for a 10 o'clock class. So you should be aware. All right? All right, still not seeing counseling services unit, but just so you're aware that we do have a group of counselors. I showed you their names when I was showing you their halls. And so if, at any point in time, if you are having a challenge, you need some counseling, etc., then you feel free to go to the counselors. Reverend Ross was supposed to be here talking about occupational health and safety, as well as behavior management, but you will encounter Reverend Ross. You probably met him at the gate. But one of the things that we ask is that you walk with your ID at all times, so that if anything happens, we're aware who is a student and who is not a student. We also ask that you be in your Excelsior attire at all times, so you can be easily identified as a student. All right? I now invite Ms. Carlene Scott to speak on international partnerships and cultural exchange.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. Can you hear me clearly? Awesome. So I am from the Office of International Partnerships and Cultural Exchange. The office where you can find me is once you exit, make a left and then a right. It's the second glass door before you exit. All right? So it's the last building or the last glass door on your right. All right? For my office, we actually partner with overseas companies, right? For example, working at a hotel, for example. But I know that you're computer students, but you'll still have persons that don't mind working in another field just to earn some money. All right? So for first-year students, the only available opportunity or internship that we have for you would be the J1 Cultural Exchange, and that's where you will work next summer. All right? We're not sure which department or company just yet. We're still waiting for the overseas partners to contact us to verify. We also have the ELAP program, and that is the Emerging Leaders of the Americas program, and that is where we collaborate with Canada, and students usually spend a semester in a college or university in Canada. The courses that you would do would align to the courses that you're doing here, so particularly for second semester, if you are doing, I don't know the courses that you would, for example, do, but say, for example, give me a course, please. Any course for these students? Intro to Programming. So say, for example, you do that in a particular semester, January semester. Whatever you will do in that college in Canada, it will be aligned to that program so that when you come back, you continue. You don't have to do that semester again here. All right? So that's the ELAP program. The one you can benefit from now, as I mentioned before, is called the J1 Cultural Exchange Work and Travel Program. And that will be, registration opens now, right? And that will be next summer for your opportunity to work overseas. The J1 International Trainee Program would be for students who have completed their degree, and we will send you on a trainee program, and that would be 6 to 12 months. All right, that's why you'll have to finish your degree and then contact us. For the ELAP program that I mentioned before, that's to go to Canada to spend a semester. It will be open for students that are finishing second year and going into third year. All right, so remember that for the future. We'll also have international scholarships. That would be 6 to 12 months as well. For that one, we have partial scholarships available. And of course, your GPA is expected to be 2.5 and above, 2.5 or more. Aim for more, because some of the programs or scholarships are usually competitive, and for process of elimination, when we have too many persons, we would use the GPA. So if yours is just the 2.5 and you have others that would be 3 and above, then those persons will be chosen over you, basically. All right, so what would you need in general? You need to know where the office is so that you can ask as many questions as possible. So like I mentioned before, once you exit, make a left, then a right, and it's the second glass door on your right. It's the last glass door on your right. Press the buzzer. We notice that students lightly tap the buzzer and we don't hear on the inside. Right, but we're gonna put up a sign, so bear with us for now, but there's a buzzer and we'll let you in once you see the green light. So you need to know where the office is to ask your questions. You need great attitude, good attitude, so that your lecturers can refer you, because we don't know you. So if we ask about a particular student who would express interest in going overseas to work or for a scholarship, then we'll ask for referrals if we need, and if your lecturers know you, then that would be a plus. Also need your GPA to be 2.5 or more, but the or more would work out better for you. And of course, you need to be enrolled in an associate degree program. All right? I have a quick question. Did anybody hear the acronym ELAP? What does ELAP stand for? Anybody? ELAP, it's an acronym, and I mentioned it before. I'm just testing to see if you were listening. Nice. All right. So I have one. This young lady here. Emerging Leaders of the Americas Program. All right. So we also have an email address. All right. Remember we said that the name of the office is the Office of International Partnerships and Cultural Exchange. So the email address would be oipce@ecc.edu.jm. All right. If you would like to visit us in person to ask your questions, then you can do so as well. If not, you can send us an email. oipce@ecc.edu.jm. All right, thank you very much and welcome to ECC.
Thank you, Ms. Scott. Ms. Morgan from the Counseling Services Unit is here, so she will speak about the offerings of the Counseling Services Unit.
Good afternoon, everybody. All right, let me try it again. Good afternoon, everybody. All right, thank you. I'm going to ask you to do something quickly. Just 3 things. Raise your hands and give 3 claps. No, you don't have to be, I wonder what am I up to. All right, take your hands down. That was just warming up. 1 big one, then another big one, and then another big one. Let's go. 1, 2, 3. Woo! A little better. You know who those claps are for? She look like this. You have been clapping persons when they come up to speak, but those 3 are for you. The fact that you are here. You're on your way. Let me see the hands of those of you who are on your way to where you want to be. Yes, man. I think some persons are just tired. See, I'm thinking great things about you already. So you're going to hear of CSU quite a bit, Counseling Services Unit. Now, over the years, they have had 2 counselors. Now, guess how many we have? 6. Just since this year. We have an educational psychologist. We have a social worker. We have a success coach. We have counseling psychologists. They call everybody guidance counselor, really campus counselor. But we specialize in different areas. Why do we have all these professionals? People who are trained specifically to help people achieve their personal, academic, and professional goals. Why? Because you matter. And just like how the body is controlled by the head, things need to be right up here for you to go anywhere you want to go. Am I correct? Exactly. So when people think of counseling, they always think of, no, not always, sometimes they say, boy, my head probably not good. Or things not so right, or maybe mad. So some persons don't want to go anywhere near a counseling office. Let me correct that. You see, depression, anxiety, some things that you'll just say is just things that happen to everybody at different times. Those are mental health issues. Did you know that? Yes. I mentioned Bellevue to somebody and they said, "Oh, that's the place there." But it's a mental health institution. Persons go in, see their doctor. Sometimes it's deep depression, sometimes it's anxiety-related situations. Sometimes things just happen and they just get spaced out. They go in, see a specialist, and they leave. Not everybody have illnesses that require persons to be hospitalized. All right? And so when you come to us, we'll see you. And we are easy to find. Just go on Google or anywhere you can type in, just write ECC counseling. And guess what happens? You see the page come up. And you're going to see the counselors there. Yes? And then they'll show you how to contact us by email, by telephone, and then there's an extension. Very easy. Now, for those persons who find themselves on this main campus, do you know where the vending machine is? Right in front of the vending machine on Block A, that's the counseling unit. And basically, all of you know the accounts department, right? It's right next door to the accounts department. So, we're easy to find. I personally am located on the Camp Road campus. But I serve other campuses. But then you'll find 4 or 5 persons located on this compound at any 1 or 2 times. All right? So what can you expect? You come in, you complete a form, because the form is going to give you all the details related to counseling. These are the expectations. Our services are confidential and trustworthy. And if there are limits to confidentiality, you will see that on the form. Because if you are going to hurt yourself or hurt somebody, you'll expect us to prevent that, right? Can't hear you. Yes. We don't want to say, "Oh, I'm going to hurt myself tonight." And we say, "Okay, we'll see you around." All right? And so you'll have to complete those forms, and then we set up our appointments. Some of the counselors, you'll have WhatsApp information. Some persons can just go online, send an email. I am Matthew Ferguson. I would like to have to receive counseling, or I have some concerns. The counselor respond, and you make some appointments, and you go ahead from there. Very, very easy. Not only do we work with students, we also work with staff members. Yes. We do individual sessions, we do group sessions, we even do family sessions. Not gonna have sessions with your family behind your back. But sometimes even your indication to might have to do sessions with other persons. We do that as well. Now, sessions can be either face-to-face or even online. How does that sound? Not hearing you. Because some persons don't really want to come in. They just want to do a Zoom session or other session. Some persons don't really want to hide them face behind some online platform. That's fine. Because the program is about you. And to ensure that you do well in the different areas of your life. So that's basically what I want to say. I want to be long. I just want to let you know too that we had it some time ago. We are restarting our peer support program. Some people may know it as peer counseling, but you're not counseling other students, you're providing support to those persons who would like to be a part of a training session where you are trained to provide support for other persons. Just let us know. Where our table is outside, you come and you look at those, what we have, and just sign up your name for that. All right? So that's basically what I want to say to you. And any issue that you have, and we realize that you can be better served by referring you to other agencies or other persons on the outside, we definitely do that. We do referral services as well. So you're very much in safe hands. Do you believe me? All right. Yes, I think you're tired, but that's okay. That's understandable. So looking forward to seeing you, and How much money do you think you have to pay? I don't like to use the word free, you know, because somebody pays for it. But counseling services, psychological services, really cost on the outside. Yes, especially if you have to do several sessions. But for you, it's paid for already. So see, you're already on your way to success. We help you along the way. Any concern, relationships, sexuality related stuff, anxiety, depression, anything. We are here to assist you. Academic counseling, we are here to assist you. Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your day. Blessings.
Thank you, Ms. Morgan. All right, guys, now there's just a slight change in the sequence. So originally I had indicated that I would have a session with you first, and then you'd have a 1 hour break, and then we would split up where the Selby students would go down to Deanery Road, etc. Now, because of the rain and because of the system for you to, your head of school was going to go through with you how to select your courses based on your timetable. Now, you remember that Mr. Pinnock said that the system wouldn't be open until tomorrow, right? They had some technical issues, and so the system won't be open tomorrow. So after we finish here today, that will be it. So your head of school is still going to meet with you in the smaller groups, but it's going to happen in here, all right? I don't see Mr. Peart right now, but he should be back. All right. So just some important points to note. There's a concept called realignment, and you need to know that word. So do not let 5 years from now, so this is 2025, don't let 2030 catch you and you're not done with your program. If that happens, you will face realignment, and you'd have to do over every course below a C+, as well as any course that is new to the program, right? So you don't want that to happen to you. Try and finish as best as possible within your 2-year limit for your associate and your 2-year for your bachelor's. It's very important that you sign the register for every class. If you check the handbook, there's a certain percentage. If you're absent from too many classes, we have the right to bar you from exams, the final exam. And we don't want that to happen, all right? So if it is that you are sick or some special circumstances, just explain to your lecturer, sir or miss, I won't be at class on this date because of X, Y, Z. If you're sick, you can produce a doctor's certificate. It can go on your file so that there's no issue. Same if you're an evening student, when you log into the Zoom, make sure you log in using your Excelsior email so that your name is there. We don't want to see Samsung, whatever, iPhone. We won't know who that is, right? So there's a Zoom register, and you want to be on the Zoom register with your correct name, right? So very important. There are important forms that you need to be aware of. If any certain circumstances, you need to fill up these forms and submit them. So for example, if for any reason you want to remove a course from your course selection, there's an add drop form. Or maybe you forgot to register for a particular course, you fill up that same form. If for any reason you have to pause for a moment, you fill up a leave of absence form. Don't just disappear, right? And then if you had filled up a leave of absence form, when you return, you fill up a resumption form, all right? If for any reason on the day of your exam something happened, you were sick, you had to go to the hospital, right? You fill up a missed exam form, and that one's a time limit within 15 days of the exam, right? And if you provide evidence as to the reason you missed the exam. So if it's because of illness, you attach a doctor's certificate to it and so on, right? There's a print of award form. So you're supposed to finish, you're starting now, your associate, you're supposed to finish in 2027, 2 years. Let us say for whatever reason, you don't finish until 2028. Because you are not finishing with your cohort, you need to fill up a print of award form. All right? So just in case you don't finish with your cohort, that's an important form to fill up. There's a letter request form. If you need a letter for the embassy or any type of letter, status letter, you fill up a form for that. A proctor form is a form let us say you're overseas and you are using a proctor to administer your exams, then you fill up a form for that as well. The proctor form, they usually email that close to exam time to all students. And the other forms, these and other forms are available on the website. You choose the downloads option, and then all the forms will be there. As I said earlier, make sure you read your handbook and always be in the know. And if there are any issues, report them to your head of school immediately. Don't wait until the end of the semester and you fail your course, and that is when you tell your head of school, oh, my lecturer wasn't coming to class. My lecturer wasn't. Don't do that. Once the issue is happening, report it to your head of school immediately. All right? Also ask questions and ask questions to the correct persons. Don't go by hearsay. Speak to the correct person. So if you want to, like Ms. Scott came up and spoke about international partnerships, that is the person to talk to about international partnerships. Other persons might not necessarily know the full details. The work experience officer, you want to find out about work experience, speak to the work experience person. Social outreach, speak to the social outreach person, right? So speak to the correct person for things. There is a chain of command to follow whenever you have issues. So for example, if there's a course-specific issue, speak to your lecturer first. You don't need to go straight to your head of school. So for example, you're absent and you missed a test and you want a chance to do the test. Talk to your lecturer. All right? Speak to your lecturer about that. Course specific. For the persons responsible, there are various persons who came up here and spoke. So Ms. Dunbar came up and spoke about student finance. So if it's a student finance issue, talk to the right person. All right? You can speak to your head of school as well. So you don't remember who to speak to, you could ask your head of school, your assistant head of school, or your year group coordinator, right? And as I said, go to your lecturer first. So if you come to your head of school is going to ask you, did you speak to your lecturer? And if your answer is no, the person is going to send you back. If you have gone to your head of school and you're still not, you haven't gotten through, then you can come to me, your dean of faculty. But the first thing I'm going to ask you, have you spoken to your head of school? If the answer is no, I'm going to send you back. So please make sure, just follow the chain of command, right? Your first thing shouldn't be the principal. Your head of school, etc., should have already been aware of the issue. So my final words to you, success is like an iceberg. And what the people see, they see the degrees, the awards, the medals, the scholarships, etc., and they don't see the other things below that you have to go through. Remember, I spoke earlier about taking responsibility for your learning, so it takes a lot of sacrifice. Practicing good habits of going through your work daily, setting your targets. So each semester, your target should be to do well in every single course. Sleepless nights, right? So it's going to take that, right? That's going to happen, all right? So here we have the email addresses of some important email addresses. For ICT, I don't have the ICT support one that Mr. Pinnock gave you. I don't have that one listed here, but there are other email addresses that you need to be aware of. And as Mr. Rose mentioned earlier, once you know the name of your lecturer, you know their email address. It's their first name, dot, last name, at ecc.edu.jm. All right, so depending on the issue, then you'll know who to email. All right? So while that is there, I'll take any questions. Anybody have any final questions? Everybody understood everything that was said? Okay. All right. All right, so I'm going to hand, you have a question? Okay, if you have not gotten your acceptance letter, please go to the enrollment office. That's on Block A. It's not ready? Still not ready? Okay, as long as you have your 5 C6 with your math and English, or you might have only 4 C6, you will be accepted. You just shouldn't have to worry about that. So, but maybe it's a, what you call it, administrative thing. So you will get your acceptance letter out so you can come to class and all that in the meanwhile until you get your letter. Classes begin on Monday, 8 o'clock, the 15th of September. So I now hand you over to your heads of schools. Oh, yeah, 2 more questions. Yes, sir? It would be in your acceptance letter. So when you get the letter, it will be there. And I saw a hand over that side. Oh, when you'll get your ID? I'm not sure, but Student Affairs arranges that. That nothing was mentioned about that in your package that you got in the email? No? Well, that's what they usually do. They usually send out an email saying students from this department, etc., come to take your picture at this location at this time. So you just need to check the announcements as to when you are to come and check your picture. Take your picture, yes. Okay. All right. Okay. So even if you haven't gotten your acceptance letter, they can still give you your ID number for the person who asked earlier. All right, so your heads of schools are going to just talk to you briefly. So instead of taking the hour and then you come back after the heads of schools are finished with you, then you are free to go, okay? So welcome again to Excelsior. Thank you guys for coming. And I now hand over to Mr. Rose and Mr. Peart. Yes, you can clap, no problem.
Don't know the time I can't go. All right, I will be short. I don't see Mr. Peart here back, but I'll call him and let him get back here so we can continue. All right, some quick points I want to make be known. There's a QR code on the projector here. I want help. This is all I want you guys to do. Take out your phones. Yes, take out your phones. Do a quick scan. Hold on a minute. All right, while Mr. Parchment pulls up the code separately. Every third Sunday we have a session, right? Every third Monday. All right, see if you can scan it better now. What? All right, let me explain why I'm giving this QR code. Once you click on this QR code and pull the information, you should be seeing some fact sheets. What the fact sheets does, it gives you an overview of some of our new programs. Okay? One pager with key details of our some of our new programs. If you have signed up for a program already, this gives you an idea of other programs that we have. So in the event that you are in a program and you want to switch over to one of our new programs, which is also accredited, you can also do so by looking at the information from the fact sheet and make a choice. If you decide to switch over to any of the other programs, then you come to us and we will give you the documentations and guide you in terms of moving to another program. Yes, sir. The QR code not working? Sir Parchment, you want to check on that for me? It works? Huh? I didn't hear you. Yeah, we can provide you that link. All right, no problem. So for persons who have it working, please download it, look at the information there, and share it. Share it to others. You may know other persons who have not signed up for school as yet and want to come in. Let them have it so they can have that information at their fingertip, okay? So even if they have 4 subjects, they can still come and do one of our associate degree programs, especially the new programs, all right? All right. About 5, 6 things I'm going to talk to you about. One of the first thing is dress code. Dress code. Most of you are moving from high school coming to community college, and you may want to think that it's average to relax and dress to your liking, but you need to remember that this is a Methodist institution, and how you dress speaks volume about you. So, as best as possible, for students coming here, try to always wear your polo shirts, right? And try to dress modest. So, if you have those jeans that are ripped, try not to wear them, right? You're coming into a church institution, so try to dress as modest as possible. Wear your polo shirts every day, and always have your school ID, because your school ID is what gives you access to the campus. If a security stops you, if you are to go into the lab, if an instructor stops you, or even if one of the ANSIL staff stops you and asks you, your ID is what gives you access and gives you a right to be here as a student. For CELB students, you may have your polo shirts, but most CELB students may have their coverall. So engineering and other students will have their coverall. Mr. Stent will talk to you about that, but for the computing students, you have your polo shirt, so you wear that every day. We have a student department meeting, staff meeting on every 3rd Monday. I don't know if we're still going to continue with it, but I'm hoping that we still do. Every 3rd Monday. Department. The school over. Not the principal over. We had our department. Yeah. Every 3rd Monday, we'll advise you, but normally for the School of Computing, we have that. We have it online and face-to-face. Please, I can't give you all the information here, but when you come to those meetings with us, as a department, we can update you accordingly. So don't miss those sessions. It's a lot of information to remember. It's a lot of things to stay tuned to. You get bored and get tired, but the thing is if you're not in the know, then you're left behind, right? So for principal hours, come there every 1st Monday, and for department meeting, it's every 3rd Mondays. And we'll update you as a department, separate and apart from what's been taking place in the general school populace. We also have coordinators assigned to each program. So coordinators for different programs, whether it be the associate in IT or associate in MIS or the bachelor's program, for every program there's a assigned coordinator. And that means you will have coordinator meetings. The coordinator meetings could be within the class or it could be an online session. Those are smaller sessions where you have a one-to-one with the coordinators and they will update you accordingly. So don't miss those sessions either, right? We have day programs and evening programs, so associate and the bachelor, associate programs. So please understand that if you're in the day programs, the day started from 8 in the morning to anywhere to 5 in the afternoon, and you're expected to be here. And for the evening program, from roughly 5:30 up to 9, right? So please don't miss those classes. Computing students, one of the tools that you must have is a computer, a good computer. And we're not talking about notebooks. We want you to have a good functional computer. Anyone? Any computer person here? Tell me what's a good functional computer. What would you describe as a good functional computer? Give me some specs. I hear i5, i7 processor. Yes, that's good. What else? What? Tell me, man, we want to hear. AMD are very good for processor. What about your RAM? This guy wants to tell me everything, so let me bring the mic to him. Come, sir, reel it out.
Say about 8 or 16 gigabytes of RAM would be appropriate.
Loader.
8 or 16 gigabytes of RAM would be appropriate.
Very good. That's 8 to 16 gigs of RAM. What about hard drive?
I would say an SSD or on about 500 gigabyte SSD would be suitable. Yeah, well, or probably about 250 is the lowest one can go. Yes. 250 is the lowest one can go.
Right? You need a solid state hard drive, and he's saying at least 250 gigabytes is the lowest. But if you can have anything from 200 upward, that'd be good. You're in a computer field, and therefore you need a very useful device to manage your work. I teach networking, from fundamental networking to advanced networking, and you need a powerful device to manage some of the stuff I give you to do. All right? Any simulations, any labs, you're going to need a powerful computer to work with it. For the persons who are doing programming, or if you're going to do some form of graphics, you're going to need a good computer. So that's one of the main investments that you have to make to try to get a good computer. Right? Labs. Computer students, you'll be using a lot of labs. That means you need to follow the lab rules. You cannot bring food, water, or any other type of liquids inside the labs. You have to abide by those rules. That means when you come to the computer labs, you leave your bags in the secure area with the security, and then you can bring your laptops and your notebooks within the lab. You don't bring your bags or any other things within your lab. Right? A strict policy against your labs. In terms of, well, we talked about the timetable and timetable distribution already, and we already know what time class begins, but all the other stuff as it relates to computing, we'll let you know. Be prepared for class. That's all I can say. If you're prepared, that means you're serious about work. Right? Come on time. Don't shut away from class. And if you're going to be absent, let your instructors know. If you're ill, let us know. Even a simple email, let us know. If you're going to miss from class because of a illness that you went to the doctor, bring the certificate to me or Mr. Parchment, because that has to go on your records. Okay? If there are any questions that you're not sure about, send us an email. I, for one, can't handle all the calls, so the best thing is to send me an email, and I'll get back to you. Mr. Parchment as well, Ms. Campbell, I know she answers a lot of emails more faster than me, but just ask, don't assume, okay? Before I hand over to Mr. Stent, is there any questions for me as it relates to the computer programs, the computer department? All right, no problem. Mr. Stent, your time.
Good afternoon. All right, for the engineering students, let me just start off by saying almost everything we do has some reliance on engineering. So the building that we're occupying now, you know, thanks to those who have gone on before, they actually drew this thing, created this thing so we could benefit from this. Almost everything that you encounter in life will have some engineering in it. And so therefore, you students have embarked upon a very important field. And what I like what Dr. Malcolm said earlier, you actually can pave your way. I know sometimes we may have economical challenges. You can actually pave your way by doing well. If you excel, you know, you create a pathway for yourself. People actually seek you out to give you scholarships when you're doing very well. I'll just give you a short story. I have a cousin who told me that he went to Ministry of Finance way back some years ago because they offer scholarships down there. He went there with his transcript. They told him that the scholarship thing closed off. So they said to him, but let me see what your curriculum. And when he handed her his transcript, she said, no, man, I will try to get a scholarship for you. She says she has never seen so many A's one place. From top to bottom on that transcript, A's. And so what she did, she called around and made some links. He was able to get a scholarship in Russia. And he was able to continue his studies right up to his master's degree. He spent 5 years, 6 years over there. He had to spend a year in the Russian language. But I'm telling you, you can pave a way for yourself. If you start off here and start doing well, especially in first semester, first year, you open up doors for yourself. All right? And with the beauty about it, the work is not hard. We have persons here who are willing to facilitate you here, willing to work with you and help your journey to be a success. Some expectations from the School of Engineering. You know, it's a practical area, so students are expected to equip themselves with their PPEs. You know, most of the areas you'll require to have certain protective gears to function in that area. So you're expected to do that. The coordinators for the programs, I had them here. The architecture program would be Ms. Pennycook, Mr. Yuan for auto, this is Mr. Heaven for engineering, and Mr. McDowell for the renewable energy. So just keep those names. You'll hear them again. The more you hear them, the more they will stick. All right? We have a common practice now. You are going to be our middle managers going forward. I'm just putting this here. And you have to act the part. Once you get training and you go out there in industry, people are expecting certain quality from you. And so your behavior has to be different. You're going to be different from the students who just skip out of high school and get a little side job. You're trained at the tertiary level. And your behavior is expected to be that of a tertiary trained person. And so persons, when you go out there with your associate degree, they'll assign you middle management positions. And so you'll have to manage people. And so you have to be an example. What we've identified now, I know this, I don't know if any of you here are doing it, but our youngsters like to pull down their pants. I don't know what they're doing that for. Believe me, I don't know what they're doing that for. It's an invitation to something, I don't know. But as a trained individual, your behavior is expected to be different. When you come down there, we're expecting you to dress appropriately to come on the campus and to behave like respectable persons, because people are going to look up to you. All right? And when persons look up to you, more to whom much is given, much is expected. All right? So that's one part. We're going to expose you to the course codes later, so that when you go on the area and you can identify which code represents which course, I mean, in your selection. We have some acronyms, so codes actually I call them. AD Auto 1A, that would be for the Auto Year 1 students. AD Contech 1A. Well, I'll show you them later on so that you can, when we're ready to do the registration part, you can run through it a little easier. All right? What I'd also like to tell you that you need to be abreast of what is happening, especially in your area. You know, as tertiary people are expecting you to be knowledgeable of what is happening, especially around you in the country. You know, some years ago when I was working down by Operation Friendship, I was training some welders down there. And, you know, I saw the then Minister of Education, he posted something that they wanted, some extra classrooms to facilitate students who are migrating from the private institutions back to public. And he said he wanted to make some container classrooms. And on seeing that in the news, I was able to reach out to the ministry and said to them, I'm training welders. Give us some of the opportunity to allow them to practice, to go out there and start helping building some of these classrooms. And he thought that was excellent in terms of just following the current affairs. Some students just brought it to my attention, and we're able to reach out to them and tell them what we're up to, and we're able to engage them like that. You can open opportunities for yourselves by simply keeping abreast of current affairs. And as middle managers, I'm telling you, that's what is expected of you. Because you're opening up avenues for persons who work beneath you or work at you as your subordinate. So, you know, you're expected to operate at that level as well. All right? I don't want to repeat what was said earlier, but you have to pay attention, as Mr. Rose said. You know, in order to be successful, pay keen attention to what's happening. Don't miss your classes. When I was going to UTEC, I had a classmate who said she was scared of maths. One of the things I said to her, just try not to miss any classes and try to capture everything that the lecturer says. So she kept her notebook and she wrote everything. And she came out with an A. It's not insurmountable. Anything that you put your mind to, you can achieve. And the environment here is really, really ripe for your success. Dr. Malcolm mentioned the company that you keep. Identify people who are heading for the stars. They're the ones you want to go with. People who are just fooling around or they're excited for the freedom. Because coming out of high school where nobody's monitoring you again, you get a certain amount of freedom. But some persons abuse the freedom. And as a result of it, they come back here for the second semester and, sir, boy, whatever, and they recognize they have to repeat courses. Then the parents would come and say, boy, I'm wasting money. We don't want that. Money hard to come by. And trust me, I wish to God some of you were footing the expenses of the courses that you fail. Because some of you are really, really abusing your parents' hard-earned money. I'm begging you, don't allow that to happen to us. All right? Be wise. You want to smooth sail through and open up opportunities for yourself, as I said, by getting those A's and attract persons to you so they will want to sponsor you to complete your studies. And then you come out, and in fact, when employers call us, they want the bright sparks too. They want students who have maintained a certain GPA. And so we can say, yes, man, the young man, they were, you know, he has a 3-point plus. Send him come. But if you don't have that, you don't want to send it to the employer because you're going to embarrass us. So it's up to you to open up opportunities for yourself, as I said. And I'd say, I'd say welcome to Excelsior. It's a step in the right direction. You've stepped where many have shunned away from, or maybe too scared to do. But, you know, it's a step in the right direction, and the sky's the limit. We'll facilitate and, you know, open up opportunities for you. The work and travel, or some of our students, they seek to go on the work and travel. You know, we encourage them to maintain that GPA for that as well, because the GPA determines a lot of stuff. The GPA, I'm not sure if that was explained that was explained earlier, but nevertheless, just helping you, just reinforcing that and helping you to remember that. All right, just made some additional stuff here. Of course, we'll give you the timetable. It was mentioned 6 courses for the semester, but you have the PACE, you have the social outreach. The social outreach sometimes a little troublesome. This is a voluntary thing. Students, please pay attention. Please pay attention. When you go out on those things, you ensure that you complete the task, submitting your reports and all those stuff for your social outreach. Some students, they do the work, but they neglect to hand in things on time. And pay attention to deadlines. Pay attention to deadlines. It's not like when you're in high school, you can run to a teacher and say, boys, me leave the work at home, and they say, all right, bring it tomorrow. we have to adhere to certain tertiary standards. Understand this, everything has a domino effect. So you're supposed to hand in your work at the end of this week. Let's just for argument's sake. When you give that to us, we are supposed to hand in our grades by the following week, Friday. Because the college expects grades to be published to students by the following week, Friday. That's 3 weeks from now. When you fail to give us your work on time, you delay us. Sometimes we have to leave persons behind because we have to try and meet the deadline, because it's unfair for the other students who have worked very hard to meet the deadline not to get their grades on time. And that has impact on us too, because we have to report to CCC and to UCJ where these standards are concerned. We have to maintain the standard. And so you have a responsibility to do your part. You know, pay attention to deadlines. Don't wait until the last minute. Jump on it just as you're given the assignment, and you know, as far as you can go with it, and try to finish in time. And Dean Campbell spoke about this earlier. Once you're finished, upload it. Don't wait until the last minute, because sometimes you might have some challenges. Emails, check daily, I think that was mentioned. All right. I think I'll rest here for now. The auto students, when you go to the specific classes, they'll tell you all the PPEs you need. The students who are doing AutoCAD, doing architecture, we definitely would like to have AutoCAD on your machines. Because, you know, when you get those assignments, practicing on your own is very important. Of course, we have a lab down there, but sometimes it's not convenient for persons to stay back long hours to finish up the assignments. So it's good if you have a laptop with the AutoCAD installed to do your assignments for the architectures. Both the architecture, engineering, and the auto students, all groups of AutoCAD. All groups of AutoCAD. So you definitely need AutoCAD. We have AutoCAD on our machines, as I said, you can use the labs, but if you have it in your possession, it's much easier for you. You master it much easier, like that. All right, I think that's it for me. I don't think I need to go back over some of these for now. I don't know if there are any questions for me. When you speak so close to lunchtime and you don't know if persons have questions because they may be thinking about lunch, I'm not sure. No questions for me. All right? Do I hand back over to you, Sir Rose, or Dean Campbell? Dean Campbell?
All right, thank you, Mr. Rose and Mr. Peart. So thank you again, everyone, for coming. On your way out, there are a few snacks, refreshments there. Please remember that on Friday at 10 o'clock, you have Welcome Assembly. That is at the high school auditorium. So Friday, 10 o'clock, over at the high school. All right, enjoy the rest of your day, everyone. Oh, Mr. Park.